What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Liberty Libations, again without Jake. So today you have me, Zach, Alden, Zane, and then Adam Nutter is joining us. So
What's up,
Adam, tell
boys?
us about yourself for anybody who doesn't know.
I'm gay. I like long walks on the beach. No, I host two podcasts, and I'm a comic. One of them is Cult of Us. No politics, just me and my boy Neil Wood talking shit. Just two comics talking shit to each other. Different guests each week, or sometimes no guests at all. And that's just more fun. The other one I do is a little more political theme. It's also just five guys talking shit, and you guys might know some of the boys in that podcast. It's called 5 Till Midnight. It has like Luke and Typo from the Biting the Bullet podcast, Kyle Matovic from Liberty and Health, and Sam Urban from Illegitimate Scholar. And that's a fun one we all do. We all jump on, talk shit to each other, mainly Sam, call him gay, and then we talk about some topics that's going on or whatever it's not like mainly political or anything like that. It's just, we try to have fun.
Nice.
Well,
I heard a can crack, so what's everybody drinking if you are tonight?
I've got another one of those old style lagers to be not classy, and then I've got some Amaro Maletti to kind of just mix it up and, be gay,
Nice.
And what is that? Like, what's Amaro Maletti?
It's like a aperitif or whatever, like an Italian liqueur.
Oh, okay.
And
like
a shitty American
dinner,
lager.
Yeah. Your after dinner constitutional little.
It's my after drink. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
I don't think you're allowed to drink an aperitif without your pinky raised.
I'll try.
I've actually got a homebrew that I got last night at a Christmas gift exchange. He called it an extra special bitter. I don't really know what that is. Steve,
ESB.
If you're listening, drop it in the chat.
Yeah. It's
protein shake. That's for me.
There you go. Yeah. Getting crazy.
All right. So real quick, let's talk about LP Georgia. So I'm trying to remember what Jake always says, but it's good. It's great. We're doing things. Come join us at the LP Georgia. But what I like to talk about more is our convention that's coming up. And Adam will be there doing some comedy along with our guest from last week, John Eiler, aka Sunglasses Jesus, will be hosting for you again.
He's a man.
So yeah, go to lpgeorgia.com/convention. I'll bring you to this page where you can register, see all of our speakers like Spike Cohen, Shane Hazel, Sara Higdon, Edgar Mills. And then there will be a presidential debate with, I think, 6 of the presidential candidates. And then afterwards, Tower Gang will be there to just roast the crap out of them. That'll be our version of the spin room, except, maybe even more awful people than the corporate press. Who knows?
I don't like how
it's
standing at exactly 6 feet tall, which is true. I am exactly 6 feet tall, but I don't like that it has to be said like that. That's all I'm going to say.
It makes it seem like it's not true. So.
Yeah. Really annoying. I don't like this bit.
It's almost like it's in quotes, like he's 6 feet tall.
Yeah, this bit's bull. Long story short, to make a long story short, but I passed out at the gym like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Maybe before Thanksgiving. I don't know. It turns out I don't think anything's wrong with me because I went to the cardiologist today, and they have this they put this monitor on my chest. You see this shit?
Oh shit! All right.
Wow.
For 9 days, I gotta wear this thing for no reason because the doctor pretty much told me, he's like, I think you just passed out for being a pussy. Honestly, is what happened. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't even think I need to do this then. And they were like, no, you do, just to be safe. I was like, all right, so I gotta do that. I gotta do a stress test, which I hate cardio. And I gotta run on a treadmill. And they keep shaving my chest for everything they do for me. And it's not like they're using Manscaped. They're using Bic razors.
Yeah.
And I have kind of coarse chest hair. You know what I'm saying? And they're just today at the office, they had to shave a little bit to put this fucking thing on.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse is just sitting there with a razor from, I don't know, 1827. And she's just dragging
Is it dry?
The driest, almost would say Sahara-like conditions, and she's just dragging it across my chest for this isn't a bit, maybe 3 minutes. She's trying to, and I'm just laughing now because I'm like, my chest is so irritated and this hurts so much. Please stop. That's
ridiculous.
I'd rather you rip it out with your bare hands to finish this process. It was wild, dude. But
just super glue and just tear it off. Yeah.
I was so annoyed. This whole thing's annoying. Just to find out I have bad anxiety and stress from other things. So it's like, cool. Okay.
Perfect.
Could have been avoided.
I mean, they've got to collect their sweet insurance money. I'm sure every time they shave your chest, they bill you $200.
Dude, I think it's a bit now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, my elbow hurts. I'm like, let me shave your chest real quick. I'm like, I don't know if that's the procedure for all.
I got to get my prostate checked. Like, shave your chest.
Shave your chest.
Yeah, turn around.
This actually wasn't a hospital. That was just some place he stumbled into, clutching his chest, and they're like, "We got this."
Yeah, lay down on that table over there.
Him.
Ignore the feces and blood. Just lay on the table.
Dr. Green concurs. He says your doctor was right. So
what about him being a pussy?
Yeah,
no, you're right. He's right. Everybody's right.
Yeah. Or I mean, if you're exactly 6 foot tall, that's pretty tall. Maybe you just stood up too fast. You didn't get enough blood to the brain.
Yeah, it's also like I was telling the doctor too. It's funny at the ER. He was like, "So what happened? Like what were you doing?" I was like, "Well, normal gym routine for me. Like I smoked a bunch of weed.
Yeah,
I had 2 energy drinks, and I didn't eat beforehand. Like I don't understand why I passed out. I just did probably those things.
Yeah. I just did no real sustenance and a lot of artificially amping items here. Yeah.
It sounds like if the gym is still making you anxious, you need some other hobby, like bird watching. I don't know, something relaxing.
Bird watching.
Bird watching definitely can't be relaxing. That sounds stressful as fuck.
That does.
Constantly waiting for one rare species to show up, and you're relying on that for your hobby. No.
Did you ever have where you would like play hide and seek as a kid, and like as soon as you found a good hiding spot, you have to pee? I like always had this. Like as soon as I would like get hidden and I'm waiting for someone to find me, I'd be like, "Damn it, I gotta pee!" Like my body would like know, and I would be forced to have to pee.
Are we processing some of your childhood trauma right now?
Well, I never like pissed myself, but I needed to pee anyway.
Do you guys ever play hiding and seek?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's like when we.
Sounds like a code for I got molested, but it's not. I know it's not. It's we play with other kids, and we would go into a basement.
Show me in the basement where where they touched you.
It sounds like I did get molested. Everything I like in the basement, and they blocked out the windows for no light to come in. It's like everything I'm saying.
Hide and seek.
Yeah, but that's 100% a thing we used to do. That was fun as fuck. But then you were just like, hear your friend coming who was like the seeker, and you would just punch him in the stomach because no one could see anything, and you just run away.
Yeah,
that's the good old days, man.
Yeah. Now no one wants to play with me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I kept drop kicking all the seekers.
All right, you guys want to get into the stories for the week?
Let's do it. What's going on in the world?
Number one here, we have long-awaited ban on menthol cigarettes could be delayed into 2024.
Why?
And this comes from the perspective of like, oh, that's awful. How dare them delay it? But hidden in here is one of the officials was deeply concerned that a ban would not be in place before the 2024 elections. So to me, does this look like them banning menthols because they don't want to piss people off right before an election?
What side smokes menthols, do you think?
Black people.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's why they're doing this. The main motivation for all the public health establishment to do this at all is because it boils down to them saying that black people are too stupid to know they shouldn't smoke cigarettes. So we've got to ban the cigarettes that they like the most to make them stop. Which you would think that our experience with the drug war would say that that's a really stupid thing to do. But
yeah, that feels like we're just as wrong as before, but on the other side.
Yeah, this sounds like a dumb left-wing thing. Right?
Yeah. And the first time they did this, they banned like all flavored cigarettes. So that banned cloves at the time. Yeah, but they just came back with like a slightly different formula, but they carved out an exception for menthol.
I used to smoke like clove and Black and Mild a little like in college. Yeah. That was just the only time I smoked like anything.
I think the only difference now is cloves are wrapped in tobacco leaf. So they're technically cigars and they're otherwise exactly the same. So loophole.
Okay.
Yeah, back when I was back when I used to drink back in my 20s and stuff like that, and like you'd be out with the bars with your friends. Like I never smoked cigarettes, but I got tired of like everybody else smoking cigarettes outside and me just standing there by myself.
Yeah.
So then I would start to like socially smoke one or two.
That's how I started. Yeah.
And I would do remember the crush?
Yes, there you pinch the little stupid ball in it.
Yeah, dude. And like you released like menthol. I think it was menthol, right? Like whatever the fuck it was.
That and menthol, I think.
Shit rules. And I was like, smoking rips, dude. Smoking rules.
Yeah. One time I had one of the BBs and I took it out and squeezed it and it blew up in my eye and that was not a good day.
You know, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But,
oh no, I'm not saying it was smart.
It was really. It'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah,
but like smoking does look like it will always. It does look cool. It does. I know it's like a message for young kids, but like it is a cool like a guy like ripping a fucking cig with like a leather jacket outside of a bar. That's pretty cool. And like that guy's cool, man. Like
hey,
it makes for great
did you know that
shots.
smoking makes you cool?
It does, but they were right. Those old ads were right. They weren't lying. Technically, it
They're
does
bad
make
for
you cool.
But
it just might give you lung cancer.
Right, yeah. But you look cool while you die, you know?
Right. And really, what's more important? Looking cool or like living until 75? Who gives a shit? You know, like
cool. It's a lifestyle choice thing. I'd rather like, burn bright and quick,
Yeah. Kind of like Kurt Cobain in his suicide note. Like, better to burn out than to fade away.
There you go.
So I can do one of those.
Yeah.
This sounds like a great plan to save Social Security, where we just convince everyone 50 and over to start smoking 2 packs a day.
Mm-hmm. I don't get how with all the 2,000 chemicals or more that are like added to cigarettes or whatever, like menthol's the one that we're gonna all right, we got to stop the mint though. Like that can't be. You can't be getting eucalyptus.
How about the flavored vapes under Trump?
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah.
Like it's so dumb. Like shut up. Like people are gonna fucking do. I'm preaching to the choir. We all know what I'm gonna say. It's like people are gonna fucking do it. They still get it. It's like it's such an obvious like lobbyist push when this shit happens. Yeah. Some lobbyist somewhere is like, oh, that's gonna hurt our brand, so let's get that shit banned so our brand thrives, whatever the fuck it is. It's like it's always the same shit. All like I think like cigarettes went after the vape thing for sure. Like the cigarette lobbyists were like, oh, the vape industry is hurting us, so let's go after and get their shit banned. And then back to old ciggies. By the way, vaping makes you look like a fucking loser.
See, cigs are going to be like a cool cycle. So. Yeah, it's like a fashion cycle thing. Are we going to get to the point, too, where like we ban menthol and then people are going to make their own by like dipping it in Vicks and it's going to be like 10 times worse for people and they're going to die from Vicks or something? Like...
I think you're going to say PCP, but yeah. No,
yeah.
The
obvious next step, I can't get my menthols anymore, so it's going to be angel dust. Like...
Yeah, Adam, your gut feeling is right because I think the vape thing, the tobacco industry was behind it, and also the flavored cigarette banning. I forget the name of the main brand, but like whoever owns Marlboro and like all the cigarette brands, like they don't really make flavored ones. They make menthol and like regular and light. So they're like, all right, let's ban all the flavored ones that we don't make. And then that screws over like Dejarum and a few smaller brands.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, it doesn't matter to us. And then I guess now they're at the point where they can just, eat the loss on menthol because they're still selling plenty of Marlboro Reds or whatever.
Right.
Why can't we go back to the basics and do ketamine? Like they used to do like those like Chinese like dens, like those K-hole dens they used to go into back in the day. That was like fun. You just abandon your life and family and go do some fucking K for a few months, dude. That should look fun. That should look pretty fun.
Yeah. Then you'll really
people need a quick thing to do on like work breaks though. Like I'm gonna go to the parking garage real quick and just do a little bit of special K. I don't know if that works.
Well, you gotta, you can microdose mushrooms. Maybe you can microdose K. I don't think people are trying hard enough. I think K is just so awesome. Once you do it, you're like, I'm good. And you just go into that hole, We need some heroes out there to try to microdose some K for us.
Now I'm like on a mission, microdose everything and just see what works.
I mean, I wouldn't do that with fentanyl, but
microdose fentanyl. Yeah. I only died a little bit though. Like,
did you see that a bunch of kindergartners ate gummies with like fentanyl in them? They lived, they're okay, but they got mad sick. Yeah. Which is either the most hilarious prank in the world, or some guy's like, "Where I put my fucking gummies with fentanyl in them?" And he's like, "Oh no!" Like one of two things happen, and both are funny. Both are funny. It just depends on how you look at the situation.
When you said gummies, I did not think even fentanyl was going to be the item in the gummy. I'd never even heard of that before.
That's what I'm saying. Either there is a hardcore fentanyl user out there who's like, "I don't got teeth left. I can mush them up with gummies."
Right.
Or some guy's like, "Don't be hilarious. Like give kids fentanyl." Like
it's Halloween. What am I going to give these kids? I don't have anything to give these kids. Like, yeah.
It could just be some dude dipping his toe into fentanyl. He's like, I'm not going to shoot it up. I'm not going to smoke it. It's just a gummy.
Gummy sounds innocent. Yeah.
It's just a Scooby snack.
Yeah, that you'll never, ever get out of. You'll always be in that Scooby snack forever because you'll be dead. Especially like a little 7-year-old. Like
and then you're forced. That's what death is you're forced to live out your last moments. And so if you're like paranoid on a fentanyl gummy, then that's it. That's your limbo for forever. Like, that might suck. Yeah.
No, it's a fun theory. Right before you're about to die, you essentially transported to like a different reality. Like
like one of your other would-be lives?
Like, yes. Kind of like the Rick and Morty thing, or like you just go into like your other self though, like you take over that self. You're like, oh shit! Right. Like there's so many stories about that, but I mean, I don't know. I believe and don't believe everything anymore. So like
that's perfect. It's like the Schrodinger's cat of belief. You're like, I believe them all until one's proven false. You know,
Because I don't believe anything anybody in media or authority says ever.
As a rule, I divert away first. Like, as a rule.
I was trying to tell my buddy at the gym today. I was like, dude, like I don't even know what word you want to use. Black pill, whatever. I don't know. Whatever word you want to use. We're like, I'm so
fentanyl gummied.
I'm so fentanyl gummied out, dude. Like I just everything I see on the news, the first thing I go is that's a lie, but how is it a lie? And then I go, where's the agenda? I do that with movies.
Who stands to benefit?
The news.
Yeah,
anything.
movies
so
now.
I can't enjoy any form of entertainment anymore.
No.
Like, it's just ruined for me. Comedy's ruined for me. Everything is ruined for me, dude. I can't watch anything.
It's so sad and frustrating. Like I'll get like sometimes like 2 minutes into a thing and I'm like, I can't finish this. Or I will finish it, but it's just a hate watch. Like just to like take notes on how bad it is, you know.
Or like I'll start to watch something and I'm like, okay, so far, so good. But I'm always like, when's it coming?
Waiting for it. Yeah.
When's it coming?
Even a good movie, you ruin it for yourself because you're like, I know it's coming. Yeah.
But to be fair, 9 times out of 10, I'm fucking right.
I know.
You know, I am right. Did you guys watch Peacemaker? The show with John Cena, the what came out a year ago, maybe now. He played. It's like a superhero show on HBO. John Cena played. He played a Suicide Squad character. Not important. It was actually really well done. Right? It was well. It was well done. It was great. And I'm just waiting for because DC comic books is all woke shit, right? So I'm waiting for the shoe to drop, and I got to the last episode, and one of the other main characters in the show, she's like a black lesbian chick. So, you know, her and John Cena, who's like, you know, a straight white psychopath dude. That's the character he plays essentially, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, she ends with the line of her being like, it was, you know, she's like, and I'm surprised at how much I became your friends too, even though you're, you know, you have this delusional right-wing libertarian fantasy, she says. And I went, there it is.
No.
There it is right there. There it is. It's always something. It always,
she said both right-wing libertarian.
I think so. I think like definitely still libertarian for short.
It's an honor just to be mentioned.
Yeah, we're making a splash. Yeah,
we're finally on the ballot.
Yeah,
so annoying.
I feel like I've only heard the word libertarian thrown out as like you're one of those. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, 100%.
Great. Yeah. I'm one of those that thinks for myself. Great. Yeah, I guess that's a bad thing.
All right, next thing we have here. Let's watch a little bit of this video from here in Atlanta.
Bars tonight charged with taking an Atlanta News first crew
That's hostage. The quality side.
Officials arresting Brandon Logan on charges including terroristic threats, false imprisonment, and public drunkenness. But as Adam Murphy tells us, there are real questions about how long it took officers to respond.
All right, this isn't the video I meant to play, but it is the right news story.
Okay.
So basically, some guy, seems like a homeless man, held a couple reporters hostage in the sheriff's department's parking lot for an hour and a half. And that's how long it took the cops to figure out anything was going on while somebody was being held hostage.
Okay.
I'm trying to find out here. It said he threatened to shoot them if they didn't buy him food.
Okay, so this guy's awesome. I don't know what you got. This guy held a bunch of reporters at gunpoint. That guy's awesome. But also, to be fair, I'm actually going to defend the cops for a second. There's no one at the precinct. There's like one person in there. It's not like there's like 40 cops chilling at the precinct being like, I wonder what crime's happening in the parking lot. You know, I kind of agree with that. They're like, wait, it's like one guy answering phones. I don't fucking know what's going on.
So
like,
even if you didn't assume someone was going to take an hour and a half to respond, if someone is saying, I'm going to kill you unless you buy me food, wouldn't you buy him food? Like,
or
just
say
fucking...
I'm going to.
Yeah, anything. Just be like, all right, let's go get a hot dog or something. Like, wouldn't that be like the easier way out? Like, I think it's on these people for not buying food.
I think sometimes it's smarter to barter with the homeless over. Okay, so like I use them for like favors, right? So
okay.
I was in Philly doing a show, and I parked my car like in a public lot. It was like one of those like on the street lots, so you could just like walk right in front of the sidewalk. You know, it's like not like a stacked like private garage.
Were you like, protect my car and I'll pay you $20? Like
100%, I gave him food because he was standing on the opposite side of the street. And he was like, "Oh, you could just pull in, don't park. They don't check this." And I was like, "I don't trust you." But here's the deal: I'm gonna be right there telling jokes. I'm gonna buy you a hamburger. Be cool. If you see anything coming in my car, you come get me. And he was like, "Got it." And
which
he
dissuades both him from breaking into your car and anyone else.
100%.
Dude,
I was like, there's more where that comes from if you don't fuck my car up. And he's like, got it.
I'm into this. Okay, why not? And I feel like this is like a win-win kind of a situation, you know?
I'm providing work, technically.
Yeah.
It's gainful
food,
employment.
But that's, we are libertarians. That's a free barter system. I was like, here's food for you not fucking up my car.
The market at work, as Zane might say,
yeah, that's just free market. Sure, did I take advantage of a homeless guy? Maybe. That's for you guys to say. Now, I'm not going to say otherwise.
I mean, any business exchange is someone taking advantage of someone else, basically, like in some way.
Yeah. So that homeless guy, if anything, he took advantage of me. Really, that's the spin I'm going to do. He took advantage of me.
See, there you go.
Fuck that guy.
You had something to lose. You had the car. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a nice car.
Yeah.
Let fucking some homeless guy lie to me, and then my car gets towed because I wasn't paying the fucking parking thing, which I did it.
Or he's like, yeah, park over here. Come on over here. And he's like, how tough are your windows? Like, yeah.
Exactly. And I have like a canvas top. So you could just peel that shit right back. A Bronco.
Oh, sweet, man. New one?
Yeah. Yeah, the real one. Not the by the way, Toad drives a Bronco Sport. Fucking gay.
No, dude.
No, I drive a real Bronco with 4 doors and the whole thing. Yeah.
That's a Ford Escape that's called a Bronco. Like
100%. Yeah. It's annoying every time I say I have a Bronco too. I'm like, you don't. But, okay.
No. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, the real Bronco with like big ass tires and can actually do things, like that's a Bronco.
Remember, when we're all together in Georgia, you please tell him that you don't drive a real Bronco.
I have a bad time. Like, I will be too honest about things. Like, and normally it's a good thing, but I get in trouble when it comes to opinions about like design or art or cars or whatever, because I'll just be like, that's not a real Bronco. Like, and people will be like, that's my car. And I'm like, damn it, whatever. But
yeah, but it's not. Like, it's legitimately not. You can, like, and he's like, you can take the doors off. I go, no one does.
No.
Don't take the doors off a Bronco Sport. Shut up. Were you gonna go like fucking like
to go to the movie theater with it?
Acme, the Acme supermarket? Like, where are you going? Like, what the fuck are you going to? Like, calm down.
I didn't even know they came off. It's so lame.
They might not. He said they do, I think.
Well, I guess you could take any door off, but
that is true.
It's just a matter of how easy it is.
Draws a line, rip that shit right up.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll make sure to ask Toad about this during the presidential debate. So, Mr. Toad, why are you lying about the fact that you own a Ford Bronco?
I would say, why would I vote for a man who drives a feminine car when they claim to drive the real version of that car? That's what I would say. That's just me.
Yeah.
Jake said, I saw a Bronco Sport with the doors off, and it was the stupidest looking thing I've ever seen done to a car.
Yeah, you can take the doors off a Honda Civic too, but like, why? You know.
Now, to be fair, I never once removed the doors off my car because the whole process, and I was like, all right. Also, where am I putting these doors?
You can get them off, but like now it takes up the whole garage. Like,
no, it's a.
There was a minute where it was like popular to drive around in a minivan with the slide door open, and like in Tennessee, the passengers can drink. So I would see people like just drinking in the back of a minivan with the slide open.
That sounds like a southern thing.
I think I'd rather do that.
Not a northern thing.
I'd rather do that than have a Bronco Sport, though.
Oh, well, I'd rather be dead than have a Bronco Sport. But it's like we can't all do what we want. I'd rather Toad be dead for his Bronco Sport.
The Bronco is like if I get like a a second, like a toy vehicle kind of a thing that like can actually like do shit and go off road. Like Bronco's like the one I want. It's awesome. The real Bronco.
Yeah, no, it's pretty awesome.
Do you have the manual with the crawler gear, or do you got the automatic?
Okay, so I'm gonna stop right now. I'm not a car guy. You just said words that I can nod to and try to lie through it,
Yeah.
but I'm just gonna stop it right now. It's an automatic, and I don't know what a crawler is, so let's move on.
Okay. It's for like bouldering. Don't even you worry about it.
Buddy, I'm not taking that thing off-roading. Okay, I just like it to say I have a cool car where the roof could come down, which I do take that down, and come off, which I will not do because it's too much work. I'm not a real man when it comes to a lot of stuff. It's a cool car though. Yeah,
you have good taste in trucks. Like
when it comes to like fixing things, right? Or like cars, my man car goes right to whoever the fuck I'm talking. I'm like, here you go. Right. I don't know shit. I can't.
Dude, new cars. Things. I don't know how to work on new cars. Like I'm not trying to get in there. There's like, have you opened the hood on that thing? Like the wires are going everywhere. And like I'm not trying to mess
okay,
with
so this is why I don't think I'm fully stupid, but like a little stupid because I think about that. Like let's just say Tesla, for instance, right? The amount of like computing in that car, if you get hit, even like not like a wreck, but like a hit enough where like you gotta fix some shit. Dude, what is the mechanic thinking to himself? Like, I don't know how to wire all of it. Like, what do you like? It has to be phasing out like everyday mechanics, right? All these new cars. Again, I'm not a car guy, so I'm dumb. So
I've literally
me being dumb, trying to think of like, do these guys have jobs in 5 years? Like, or have
no, but you're right though. Like, it's complicated. I've literally watched videos of people that are mechanics, and they'll show all the bolts that they have like in a big circle around them that they've taken out just to get to the transmission on these new cars sometimes, and then like open that transmission, and like it's like Legos from hell. Like it's overly complicated, and now they're selling transmissions that like are supposedly like you don't need to open them, but it's like obviously we all know things are going to go wrong, and like they're basically trying to do the whole thing where it's like, oh, my transmission's bad, I got to buy a new car. Like, and I can't find anyone.
I have a conspiracy theory that's probably not a conspiracy. It's probably just true, and I probably am very late to say this, but the more they make these new cars, they purposely make them where you can't fix them.
No, I agree.
Like even a headlight, right? Like for the new cars, it's like you have to remove the inside of your car to take the headlight out. I'm like,
all you got to do is take off the whole quarter panel and
I'm like, I don't even have a screwdriver. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
you're like, how to change your headlight, and you're like, start by putting it on a lift, and you're like, already, you're like, that's crazy. Like, no,
I'm like, get a brick. I go, bro, I'm gonna get a brick to bash your fucking skull in for saying that. Yeah, your mind get a brick. Jack my car up. Fuck you, dude.
I had a 2004 Honda Element. Okay, this car was bare bones. It didn't even have ABS brakes. This thing, and I was able to, and I don't know like a lot about cars, but I was able to like change the radiator and do whatever, and like it's okay. It was like the cusp of like being able to work on cars. Now we have a 2023 Honda. I'm not touching it. I'm not fucking doing anything to it. I will make it worse. Like I will move one thing, and then the whole thing will be like, you have a computer virus now in your car. Like I there's no way.
Yeah, it's like I have the Ford app for like, you know, your car. Like you can start your car on the app and stuff like that.
Right.
And it just said like your car was updated. I went, what the fuck? How? It's a car.
What is it? A PlayStation?
Like my car with what? Yeah. Do I have missiles now on it? Do I get fucking machine guns in my car? Like, what do you mean you updated my car? I have a nitrous now?
Go check the 50 cal mounted turret on your car.
I guess that'd be sick. I'm just saying, it was not that. It was like I don't even know. I couldn't even figure it out. I was like, you know what?
Right.
I'm done. It's probably a virus in it. They probably took over my car.
Cars are like video games now, where like they release them half finished, and they're like, "We'll patch it later. It's fine, whatever. Just start driving. We'll figure out the
I only
no
have
brakes
3
thing."
wheels. Like, don't worry, the patch is coming.
Yeah. The brake doesn't seem to want to work like at all. It's next month. We'll get to it. You know, 2.0.
Have you tried driving into other cars to slow down? Like, I guess I'll do that.
Do you guys have that dream where like you're in your car and you're going to brake and it's like not braking and like you can't stop the car?
No, so I have a trick to not dream. You smoke a bunch of weed and it stops your.
That REM legitimately, cycle. It really does. Yeah,
it does. I don't dream ever. When I stop smoking weed, I dream, and I hate dreams.
When you stop, though, they suck when you stop and then stop smoke forever and then stop smoking. The dreams are like weird and creepy and psychedelic and
dude. So after my my little pass out the gym incident, I was like, all right, I'm going to slow down from weed and energy drinks for like at least 2 weeks.
For 30 minutes, like, yeah.
Let's slow it. So I dreamt Oh wait, no, this was the first time. I'm sorry. This was the first time I stopped smoking weed. I took a break. I dreamt I saw this giant like cartoon squirrel, like this, or chipmunk. It was this giant like cartoon animated chipmunk.
Right.
And his right eye was shallow, like empty, and a train was coming out of it. And I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, what is my brain telling me? Like, what is that trying to be like? I don't even know. I think my brain's like, you're a mess, and this is what we got going on for you right now. Just play with the train and chipmunk. I'm like, got it. Like, I have no idea what the fuck that was. But
I think your brain is just fucking with you.
And the second time, like this last one I came off, I just constantly have the dreams of like, I'm in a dire fight for my life, and I can't punch anything.
Those are the two. So not being able to brake and stop my car, and not being able to punch like I'm punching through mud. Like I'm just like, why am I such a pussy? Like, that's the worst.
But then like you wake up and like I get mad at my brain. I'm like, we're on the same team. Like, what are you doing?
It's
like, why would you dream that like I'm a worthless cuck? Like, what the fuck? Would you want to better build us up, you fucking asshole? Like,
that's hilarious. Yeah. Maybe it's not on your team, you know?
I think our brains are actively constantly trying to kill us, and we're constantly trying to fight our brain to stop that from happening. Like our consciousness is fighting our hardware almost. Like that's what we're doing.
Or it's like the shadow side.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I hate dreaming. I hate it. That's why I smoke. Honestly, that's why I smoke weed as much as I do. I hate dreams.
I have fun with dreams, but sometimes they're fucked up. But I smoke a little bit basically to like fall asleep kind of a thing, because I have like hardcore ADHD and insomnia, and like I'll be up till the sun comes up if I don't do something like nightcap or some kind of thing. I need like an artificial outside help. An well, and you know, later on, digestive, you know, like later on, but
well, it's like what alcoholics and addicts do. We make excuses. It's like, I just need a little weed to go to sleep for all day,
and then a little cocaine to start the day.
I always justify something.
Yeah.
Then you just need a little weed to prevent yourself from dreaming of cartoon squirrels.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then like, I stopped drinking years ago. Not because I had a problem with it, because I never really liked drinking to begin with. I'm not like a drinker, really. I would do it because, you know, you're in your 20s and you're going out with your boys and like fucking get fucked up. And I'm like, this kind of sucks, right, guys? And they're like, I love it. I'm like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
But like, I hate
throwing up in the alley. That's my jam.
Like, I hate dealing with drunk people.
Yes,
dude. Like, when I say sober, I mean liquor sober. I'm not sober.
Right.
I do drugs, but like,
right.
But like
I'm tripping on acid right now, but like sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like sober. Yeah.
Right.
But like, I can't be around drunk. Like, I get like violent. Like my chest hurts with anger.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'll fight you. I don't even care. I know you're not even like doing this on purpose, but like my level to deal with it is like just not.
No, it wasn't good for my health. Like when I was a bartender, I had to drink to tolerate people. Otherwise I was like going to have a heart attack or punch someone. It was bad.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Addicts making excuses.
Yeah,
This is what we do. This is what we do. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, by the way. I'm for it. I'm just saying, this is what we do.
I'm aware, though, yeah. But I definitely, like, that was when I drank the most in my life, was when I worked around drunk people, because that was the only level I could tolerate it. Like,
of course, no, I do get that. It is a legitimate nightmare. It's such a nightmare. I hate it so fucking much. The second you see, like, hey, can I? No, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. The worst is dealing with drunks at comedy shows. Actually, funny this past weekend. You guys know Bob Levy? Legend, like Howard Stern show. Bob Levy, like he was on the Howard Stern show back in the day. He's been doing comedy. He's a New York comedy legend, like the Reverend Bob Levy.
Writing it down.
He's been doing it for like 5 years. You know, one of these guys. He's like again, goat. So I opened for Bob locally sometimes when he's like, hey, you want to come? I was like, yeah, dude, fucking of course. So there's this place called the Comedy Works, and so I was hosting all weekend, right? Which is important for the story because the guy that I was dealing with at the start of the show was already hammered at the start of the show. And he was kind of talking during my set, but like I was like shutting it down playfully, and it was funny, and everybody was like having a good time. He was having a good time. By the time Bob got up, this guy is obliterated, right? During Bob's set, he stands up and just boom.
He passes out, like falls.
Dude, pass out wasn't the word. Like fell like fee fi fo fum, like boom. And like
Jesus.
Bob's a professional, and he made it. It was so funny, but like that'll walk the guy.
That's great
out.
material. Yeah.
Oh, so it turns out this. By the way, this man who was there for a few hours drank 14 Jack and Cokes.
Oh.
Wow.
So the waiter inside was like, we didn't realize he was drinking at the bar outside.
They
served him 7, then we served him 7, and when he was
seven's
holding it,
a lot, but yeah,
it's a lot. But I'm like, he was holding it. He was saying until like that. I'm like, well, he wasn't holding it because he was drunk during my hosting set. He was drunk, so I wouldn't say he was holding it well.
Right.
But
that's a lot.
14 Jack. Also, you're like a 12-year-old boy. Like, who the fuck? What grown man is just drinking like 14 Jack and Cokes? Like he's like learning how to drink for the first time. Like,
There's always like this one guy. I was just at a wedding where there's always one at a wedding.
Let's welcome Steve.
Steven, what's up?
Hey, fellas.
Welcome in.
Sorry I'm late.
No worries, man. We're just talking about obnoxious drunk people.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not
But yeah, no, I was at a wedding, and there's always, I feel like every wedding, there's one person, and my goal is to just not be that person, you know what I mean? That's like, ends up like passing out, falling into a bush and throwing up and like stepping on the, the train of the bride and whatever, like whatever's going on, whatever, like mania. But this was the one, and I'm like, full grown man, like in the 40s or something, like, and looking like they're 19, learning how to drink, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what's I think the most unattractive about that.
I'm like, you guys realize you look like a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Like no one's like, this guy is so cool. Like no one's doing that.
You're not like Frank the Tank or whatever.
No, one's that cool. 13-year-olds. So if you're trying to impress 13-year-olds, I have other questions for you. But like, sure, start drinking.
You're doing great. I don't know why, but that's the right way if that's your goal. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, it's I don't really like Bert Kreischer.
Right.
Yeah. Like not because I don't think he's funny. That also is part of it. But like, I just he has this, and that's his whole character. His whole character is like, I'm a man child. I'm 37, dude. That shit is fucking not funny. It's pathetic. Like, I think maybe in more of our libertarian circle where I think we tend to look at men as more of like, no, man, you got to be a man. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, again, I'm a goofy comic dude. I tell dick jokes for a living. I get it. But like, I'm not like off stage acting like that. I'm not like, look at me. I'm a fucking grown man with children. Woo. It's like, and yeah, you're a millionaire. Great, dude. By the way, congrats. Like, honestly, he figured it out. Good for him. Like, people shit on Matt Rife, like other comics. And this is my thing for Matt Rife. Good for him for figuring out how to get hot chicks to a show. Now, or just sell out, because that's all our goal, right? It's to sell out. Now, here's the thing. Matt Rife has two things. A, he's terribly unfunny. Terribly unfunny. 2, he got a hot girl audience. Hot girl audiences do not give a fuck about comedy at all. They don't. Right. They don't. Well, like so now he realized that.
The front row to Luke Bryan concert doesn't care about country music.
Exactly. 100%. But the thing with Luke Bryan is a bunch of dudes still fuck with Luke Bryan. Right? Right. No dudes fuck with Matt Rife because they're like, oh, you're not funny. Like, if you were funny, at least, like, okay, but like, he's not. Like, he's truly not. I'm not being a dick. People say I'm not. Yeah, cool, I'm not funny too. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. But like, he's also not. So you know what I'm saying? So both these are true. I gave his Netflix special a chance. I watched 10 minutes and I said, I'm not fucking around. There wasn't a single punchline, setup, anything. His whole special that I saw was this. It was fucking, you know, those girls with crystals, man, they're weird. They'll be like, crystals. It's like, wow, dude. A+ material. Yeah. Dave Chappelle should take something from you. Like, no, but like, I'm not shitting on him for success at all, right? Truly. But he realized real fast, like, oh, I should have cared about a comedy audience instead of getting famous on TikTok, doing crowd work and talking to hot cougars. Right?
Yeah.
And he learned real fast, like, oh, dudes don't fuck with me. And now all these hot chicks turned on me because I'm trying to be edgy now for the dudes. We don't already fuck with you, dude. You had your chance. You should have just been funny. If you were funny and hot, guys don't care.
That's the risk of that, is like, if you're doing it for not to be funny, but you're in the space of trying to be funny, then like that's got to come crashing down at some point. Like, so it's inflated or whatever.
The same thing. Tom
Segura seems to have taken him under his wing, though.
Really?
Did you see Matt Rife on Tom Segura?
I don't really watch that podcast.
Tom was like gushing over it.
Yeah, I know, but I think okay. By the way, I think Tom's actually still a very good stand-up.
Right.
Like, but I think that his fame and money, and now he's just gonna play the I'm a celebrity. He's not gonna fucking shit on Matt Rife. He's not. Like, he would have done that 7 years ago when he was a fucking broke comic, like me doing it right now, right?
And I think he mentioned in the podcast that he was actually going to try to roast him, but then he like looked up some of the videos and it was like 40 million views, 60 million views, and he's like, I got to get this guy on my podcast.
So he's playing the game too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Instead of being a comic, being like, fuck this guy. Like again, like, because he gets said what I said. Like, I'm not shitting. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not shitting on his success. I'm not like bitching or like being like butthurt about it or like, truly, I mean this. Good for him, dude. Because again, it's our goal. I'm just saying, don't sit there and be like, I am funny, so I deserve a Netflix special. It's like, no, dude, you're famous, and Netflix threw you a special to get views. Like, let's call it what it is, which is fine. But just be honest. And no one's being honest with it. It's like, you're all lying. Because
how cool would that be if someone was like, I know I'm not actually funny. Like, that would be amazing if someone had the like self-awareness to actually say that. But
I think Dimitri Martin has said that.
Dimitri Martin's funny. Dimitri Martin is funny. Like, Matt Rife is not like, he's just not. He's not my cup of tea, but like, he seems to be. Here's the thing, dude. He seems to be not a lot of people's cup of tea. You know, where I might look at Chris Rock, which is not. I'm just using him as an example because he's famous, and I might be like, well, I don't really like Chris Rock, but clearly Chris Rock is talented because of the masses of people that follow him and fuck with him, right?
I love his movies,
Rife,
but he's made the same racial joke for 20 years now.
100%. By the way, I'm actually not a huge Chris Rock fan. That was actually a good example for me. But I was just using him. I actually just using him because he's a big name. But like, no one's going Matt Rife and being like, yeah, I don't like him, but I can see why he's such a generational talent. Like, no one's saying that. Like, it's what. So say this. So go back to Bert Kreischer. It's like, you have a 45-year-old man who's like, I shit my pants on stage. I go, cool, dude.
Yeah.
Like, who's laughing at that? Like, truly, I saw him post that clip, and I was like, everyone in this fucking audience and arena is truly brain dead. Like, that's not funny. Like, it's
every
just
time.
Am I the minority on this? Am I? You guys looking at me like I'm the asshole? I feel like I'm the asshole on this.
I don't know much about.
I mean,
Matt Rife, but
Bert Kreischer is the basis for the Van Wilder movies, so he didn't really need comedy for his money.
That's also true.
He had the Travel Channel gig where he's getting run over by bulls and all kind of stupid shit.
Yeah, but he's making way more money now than he ever was before, for sure. Touring in arenas and stuff. I mean, he's killing it. Sorry, Zane, what were you saying?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the first couple of minutes of Bert Kreischer's latest Netflix special, and it's like, I don't know, where he comes out and rips his shirt off and the sparkles go everywhere. It was just too goofy. But obviously, he has enough fans where he can like have his own cruises, so he must have figured out something. No, dude, that's what I'm saying. Of course, and like, I'm not saying like they shouldn't be successful. I'm just saying, call it what it is.
Right.
They're not funny. And like, their personalities suck for different reasons. Matt Rife is like, I'm edgy. No, you're not, bro. Like, you made a lame, retarded joke that wasn't edgy at all. We say crazier shit on stage on Philly on a Friday show that no one's seeing.
Dude, the smaller shows are like much more likely to say some outrageous shit.
We say crazier shit on the basis, like,
because people aren't afraid to protect their image and whatever the same way. And like, I think way more edgy, like actual artful comedy happens on a smaller level.
It was actually based on comedy. Shane Gillis would have a Netflix special 5 years ago.
I just watched that. It was actually hilarious.
Oh, Shane's special, both of them are amazing.
Yeah,
I just watched one of them.
They're really good.
No, easily his last two specials are the best special I've seen in the last 5 years. I'm not even kidding. And I don't watch, to be fair, I don't watch that much comedy for a lot of reasons. Two main ones being, I don't like a lot of comedy out there, especially because the agenda push. You're seeing just people who aren't funny because they're there for a reason. I'm a gay black chick. Cool. You got a special. Right. I'm an Indian dude. Cool. How about funny? Have we tried funny? Have we just tried funny? Have we tried being funny in comedy specials? No? Cool. So, like, the Shane comes out, he's like talking pro-Trump a little bit, on Netflix.
He did a great Trump impression.
Like have the best
fantastic impression.
Him and Jamie Foxx are actually the two best Trump impressions.
That's what we said, dude. Like, those are my top two, I think.
Yeah, him and Jamie Foxx are like neck and neck on Trump impressions.
Is incredible. It's not just how they say it; it's like what they chose to say. I could like totally see Trump saying both of them.
When Shane would just be like, the Jews out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's like
Yeah.
so like
Yeah.
China,
You've got a dog
whatever.
wife,
I
Ted.
can't do it right, but it's so fucking funny, dude. But that's the thing. Shane is like a true comic, and I don't know Shane. Like I met Shane a few times, but I don't know him. I know a lot of people he rolls with. Like I'm good friends with Lemaire Lee, who's like on his podcast, stuff like right. I know Matt McCusker like a little more, but like when you talk to them, he's like, no, Shane just cares about comedy. Like he doesn't give a fuck. Like the SNL thing, that fell in his lap. Like he didn't really go out for SNL. Do you guys know the story? Like, most people go out for an SNL. It's like they're like, oh, this is the dream of mine to do SNL. Like if you hear Dan Soder talk about his SNL audition, like he was like nervous, scared. He prepped all these auditions, like for them to be like, we're good. Shane, they reached out to Shane because he was more of a conservative voice. And this is, I remember back in 2017, 18, when it was really, tension filled and over here. And they were losing so many ratings. So they were writing with their agenda, not with jokes.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this guy's conservative. He seems to have, a conservative voice. He has a big following. Let's go out for him. Shane himself has said this multiple times. You could, I'm sure, find him on interviews. He's like, I didn't give a shit. He's like, I wasn't nervous. I didn't care. He's like, they reached out to me, right? So
that's cool.
He goes, went up there. He just did his set. That's it. He did 5 minutes of his set. He didn't do an impression, did nothing, and then went, you're hired.
Okay.
He was like, oh shit, okay. Like he's like, he forgot about it. Like he's like, I never thought I'd hear from him again. Thinking like, I'm not gonna get this. They don't fucking want me here. And then what happened from there. But that's how it happened. They reached out to him. He didn't reach out to them. He wasn't trying to get it.
I didn't know that. That's cool. I didn't realize he had like
the upper in trouble because they're actually getting funny people again. With the agenda, versus actual comedy.
And that's my whole thing with the Daily Wire shitty fucking Lady Ballers movie they're putting out. I go, you guys did what the left did. You wrote a movie with an agenda and not with the comedy in first.
Yeah.
And that's why it looks like dog shit. It looks such like hack garbage. Right?
When it comes...
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, some things like can kind of hide to the layman a little better behind the agenda when it comes to like something like policy, where it's like, it sounds like it's for the right reasons. It would take some real thinking and exploring to, expose why it's not actually doing what it says it wants to do. But comedy and story and art and things like that, you can't fake that shit. Like that doesn't, and if someone just not feeling that, like if they're not getting a rise out of it, then they're not going to buy it. They're not going to pay to go see it. They're not going to go to the shows. They're not going to go to the movies or whatever. And that's what we're seeing a lot of the time. Was it on this show that we were talking about the Disney thing and how Disney was like, we're noticing that there's like a misalignment was the word that they said between their content and their audience. And we're all like, yeah, you're trying to shovel a bunch of shit down our throats,
Yeah, Captain Marvel with the Brie Larson.
All of
the
it,
word,
whatever
the
it
word
is,
intersectional feminism was not even in my vocabulary until that was in the movies.
It wasn't in mine until today.
That's all I heard about for months. Intersectional feminism. It's like, what is that?
What is that? I've never heard that.
Again, like just like I was saying earlier on, like all these shows and TV shows, movies are terrible because the left writes with an agenda and not a storyline or anything. All they care about is their bullshit message. Okay, well, Daily Wire, congrats. You did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You did the same fucking thing. Instead of going, if we make this funny, everything else will fall in line and follow. Yeah. Everything.
And ironically, it's actually more likely that you would be able to sell someone on a concept if you made it good first. Like if you made it funny and heartfelt and actually appeal to people and you nestled in a few messages in there, like covertly, like, Easter egg level, it might actually have a better chance to land, in my opinion, than if you make it just message driven and not good.
Look at Adam Sandler's latest movie. The one where he's a lizard.
What?
Oh, the animated movie.
The best animated movie in Netflix history.
Because it was just a story, right?
Yeah. There's some comedy peppered in there, right? But it just tells a wholesome story. That's it.
I don't even know what this is.
It was him and Bill Burr with the voices like a lizard and turtle in like a classroom.
Yeah.
This movie.
Anything with Bill Burr I have to watch. So
Bill Burr too, by the way. Like everybody thinks he's some sort of fucking like I stand up for the fucking against the left. No, he doesn't, dude.
He walks a line. Yeah,
dude. I don't think he does. I think he did 8 years ago, and now listen to his latest special, Red Rocks, dude.
Oh, so I haven't heard his recent stuff. So
he shit on everyone who was like anti-mask or like all of us pretty much. He was like,
See,
he
I
pretty
didn't
much
know
like,
that.
you know, in so much without coming out and directly saying it because he knows he'll lose people. But he did, and he is a lib dude. He's married to a chick who's into fucking who's woke herself, who's into the Hollywood. She's a Hollywood chick. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Well, and Bill's
expect?
even said on his podcast many times that he's more of just a pendulum swinger. You know, it's not that he doesn't put his own ideology in his comedy. It's, you know, whoever's currently in power, that's who he's making fun of.
He punches quote unquote up or whatever. Like,
yeah, but like I don't know. I don't buy his shtick either. I think it's not. I wouldn't say it's a grift, like grifting, but like he's not this like right-wing voice or conservative voice that people make him out to be.
Not,
and it's
not
like
at all.
he's not, dude. Like he's pretty
He's
liberal.
too big too.
Well,
He's pretty liberal.
Just watch the show F is for Family. That's his view of a right-wing dad.
Yes,
which I like that
100%.
show actually. Like,
No, it is a good show.
yeah,
It is a good show. Oh, remember his wife flipped off Trump at the UFC? Remember that?
Oh yeah.
no, I don't know that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Trump walks out and she's like, like, why?
What's that gonna do? Yeah,
Like again, I don't like Trump. I mean, I hate Biden way worse than Trump, right? Like, you know, but like if I saw
Right.
Biden in an event, I would be like,
yeah,
like, but like all shy, like, dude, if you're gonna do it, by the way, be like, fuck you, right? Like,
yeah.
do it. And she was like, and I'm like, what a fucking pussy, both of
Yeah.
you. And then you know, he took some shit. Like I think on the Rich Eisen show, he's like, what are you gonna do? She didn't like the guy. She get like, I can't do anything about it. It's like, you know, I get it, dude. You can't do anything about it, but it's like, just don't forget that's who he lives with.
Right. Yeah,
You know,
that's
just
fair.
don't forget that. That's what I'm saying. Just don't forget he's also a famous comedian.
Yes.
And he's in Hollywood. He's
Yeah.
getting talked to all the time. Like, this is what I'm saying, dude.
He's in
I
Star
have
Wars
nothing
now,
to lose.
like, yeah.
I'm not famous. I'll say crazy shit all day. Like, I'm pretty true to who I am. Like, these guys, they fucking turn their tune, dude. Tom Segura, too. He used to be a little more fucking open with what he said on the earlier podcast. And now, tighten that shit up because I have all the $1 million to lose.
Yeah.
Well, and then
yeah.
you know he also almost killed himself doing a layup.
Fair.
That tends to change your perspective after that. You know, you kind of okay, let's pad the bank account.
Like a
now.
literal, like a basketball layup he did?
Yeah, he did like the little juke move, and he was just running for a regular layup, and he planted the foot and went to jump, and it sounded like two bamboo sticks hitting each other, and his leg snapped in
Oh, you
two
didn't see this?
places. Huh?
No, I've
no,
not seen this.
You didn't, this is like 2 years ago now. But it
Oh,
was
damn.
one of the most grotesque. I speak chicken everywhere. Grotesque
Yeah.
injuries.
Wow,
Dude
saying
foobarred
grotesque.
himself doing a
Grotesque
layup.
injuries. Dude, he was doing a standard layup, and what happened was he slipped, tore his ACL,
Oh,
and as he tears his ACL, he falls with his arm behind his back like this, where his arm completely bent the opposite way. Like, so he had to get
Dude.
major reconstruction surgery on his arm. Like,
oh, that's gruesome. No, I've
They
not
lost a
seen
bunch
this.
of weight, got jacked.
Yeah. Well, because that was a lot of his friends, you know, Burnt Chrysler being one of them, coming over there to his house to you know, help out and stuff, you know, moving him from bed to bed. They were
Yeah, it was
like,
bad.
dude, you got
Wow.
to wait.
I remember when Darren Sproles broke his leg and forearm on the same play in football one time. And I was like, that just should put him down like a horse. That's fucking like, what do you do? Like, I would kill myself. Like, that was the worst pain to be. I broke my forearm and my leg like on one play. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah, that's gnarly. If my sentence is your mom's gonna have to come up and like help you out for a while, I'm like that, then kill me. Like, you know what I mean?
I remember my dad when I was like in college. He had like a double hernia surgery, and I had to like lift him up out of a chair, like just to get
Yeah.
up and down. Like I can't imagine
Abdominal or
shattering
testicular?
abdominal.
Double hernia. I was like, which
abdominal
one?
for sure. Yeah, abdominal for sure. Oh, it's so funny if it was his balls. I would have. No, it definitely wasn't his balls. I never would have not made fun of him for that. I would still made fun of him for that. The 37. Remember 20 years ago when you busted your balls, you fucking loser? No, it was definitely no. I love my dad. It was definitely it was his stomach. For sure.
Yeah, no, that's like where like you sneeze and you're like, I gotta go to the hospital. Like that's really bad.
Dude, I get like oh man, getting older is the worst. I can't make fun of my dad so much growing up. Like, you old fuck. Yeah, everything hurt. And now I'm like, oh yeah, no, I get it. I'm where you were. Everything everything hurts me all the time. Like all the time. I have 2 bulging discs in my neck that they won't fix. 3 different doctors are like, just deal with that for life. Not even kidding. They were like, just deal with that for life. Because
They're like, I'm not touching that. Like,
yeah, they're like, it's not worth the surgery. You're too young, and it's like not like debilitating. So
You're too young to do it? I've never heard that before.
You can come down here to Georgia at Emory, and they'll do something like I've got a buddy that just had some vertebrae fused in his neck. And he's 37.
It's not my vertebrae. It's just bulging. Like, they're not even herniated. They're just bulging and pushing on my nerves, which then this is what I'm saying, dude. So I have two living discs, one on each side, that push on my nerves on both sides of my neck, which caused me to get headache and head pain because your nerves go all the way up to like this part of your skull from your neck, like the middle of your head. They go all the way. It was nuts. So I get all that pain all the time. I get fucking pain over here, up here, on the top of my head, on my neck itself. Then I have a bad lower back from years of football and mixed martial arts. Also, all the head trauma from years of football and mixed martial arts. I have a bad shoulder. I have an injury over here in my back, on my upper back, that I don't even know what the fuck this is. It just hurts all the time. I'm standing still. like I'm falling apart. I'm a mess. I say this all the time.
That's from holding a mic. Like,
don't play sports unless you are for sure going to be a millionaire. Like, it is not worth it. Like, it is
you need
not
someone to take care of you. Like,
worth it. Like, I played for so long for nothing. I have nothing to show.
And now you need the fentanyl gummies just to sleep.
Now I have fentanyl gummies. Those kindergartens are hogging it.
I think the cure for all that is for them to shave your chest again.
Yeah, I need
shave
more.
I got this pain on my back,
and I need more hospital visits. It depends to be like, you're just kind of gay. And I was like, okay. Because that's every single time they tell me that. They're like, have you tried being a man about it? I'm like, I have. But that's what got me here, I guess.
Oh man, yeah, that's great. Because just a few weeks ago, I was stretching first thing in the morning, and I coughed and I pulled a muscle in my back.
Yep.
So
I've done that, so I can't make fun of you.
I feel your pain. Like, if I'm going to change the oil in my wife's car, like, I got to stretch first. You know, I'm in the upper 30s. I'm 38, so like I'm right at the right age where I could just get stuck under there.
I just turned 37 in November, and that's like also why I've been like, you're my age. Do you have constant existential crises where you realize you're going to die one day and you can't deal with that? Because that's me every single day. Every single day, I'm worried about dying.
I mean, I don't know about constant, but I mean, this time last year, I was having some major blood pressure issues.
Every day, I'm like, I'm not going to be here one day. I'm just not going to be here one day. I'm like, that's crazy. I would love to be a vampire. I would sacrifice everybody else to live forever. Like, I don't want to die. Like, I don't. Like, life is fun. It is cool. And like thinking that like we're all not going to be here one day is like such a mind fuck to me. I know I sound like a 7-year-old realizing like that's the thing.
Have you guys like heard of this death thing? Like,
do you guys know you don't wake up? Like that's me at 37. But like
maybe you'll get one of those intense other lifetimes in the 30 seconds before you die. You'll get to do it again.
Sick, dude. But you won't know. You just constantly think you're gonna die. That's the whole thing.
We could be doing it right now.
Right.
Don't say that.
Have you seen the interviews of people that like there was a whole one where I think it was even like a comedian that was talking about his doing DMT, and he was telling about this one crazy trip that he had, and he's like, he's done it enough now that he sees the same characters, like, and he's like, all right, I feel like this is real,
dude. It is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. For sure. No, so I never done DMT. But go ahead.
I want to hear this.
No, I've never done DMT. I've done mushrooms and stuff. So I've tripped, but I've never done DMT. But I have a DMT story from my buddy, and some guy just told me over this past weekend after the show. So go ahead.
I'll do a quick version because I want to hear that. But he was basically saying that like this one. So he said a couple things. This one like Shiva colored looking like bluish purple lady was like jealous of his girlfriend in the real world, and he's like, look, like I'm just here to have a good time. Like I can't help I got a girlfriend. Like, and it got weird. And then there was like the, like the machine elves, like the Adam Jones or Alex Jones thing. Well, like he was like, there's like that kind of thing there or whatever. And one time, one of the elves like used to be like scared of him, but he did DMT enough that they started to get like used to him. And he's like, this is freaking me out. And one time when he was like at the end of the trip, and they were like, hey, like, which universe were you from? Like, were you in the living room or your buddy's bedroom when you were doing this? And he's like, I think I was in my buddy's bedroom. And so they sent him back to that one. And then he realized there, once he was like sober or whatever, he's like, fuck, no, I think I was in the living room. And like, he thinks that he ended up in like a parallel universe or whatever. And he was like so high, he doesn't know or whatever. Anyway.
Dude, that's wild.
It's freaky.
Here's my thing with that. It's like DMT is the only drug where people see the same exact thing all the time.
Yeah.
Like how could you explain that?
Like shared hallucinations across multiple people. Like,
I've done shrooms with people, and we've all seen different shit or nothing, right? But like, there's not like a collective like, oh, look at that Swedish fish jumping through the sky. Like there's none of that. But so 2 stories. One's a funny one and one's a mechanical elves one. My buddy said he did DMT and he said he met like a being. I forgot what he described him as. It's not important. The funny part is he goes, I kept asking what the meaning of life is, and he just kept insisting on telling me the rules and regulations of the NFL and why Tom Brady was the best quarterback to ever play the game. I think that's very funny.
That got me, man.
He's like, okay, cool, but like, why are we here? He's like Tom Brady, though, you know, like 6 rings.
This guy, man, like one dude did all that, like,
wild. That's such a funny story to me. And he was serious. He's like, no, I'm like, are you fucking? Is this a bit? He's like, no, I swear to God,
that's too
like,
funny.
It's so funny. The other guy this past weekend, because I get every single crazy person come up to me after a show because I exude that energy.
Right.
So every crazy guy, and I talk about conspiracy sometimes on stage or whatever. So
sure.
like. Afterwards, people are like, I have a story for you.
Oh, God.
One lady told me about a dogman encounter she had one time after the show, which was, I will tell you guys, it is psychotic. But this past guy, he's like, did DMT, and I kept seeing the mechanical elves. I was like, yeah, explain that. And like he was like telling me what he saw. And he's like, and they kept telling me I'm not ready to see God. I'm not ready to see the other side. I'm not ready to see the other side yet. You got to go back. You're not supposed to be here. You got to go back. He said he's seen it like multiple times. And I've heard so many stories of the same exact thing.
So many people
mechanical
say
elves not ready to see.
You're not supposed to be here.
Not supposed to be here. Go back. We can see you all the time. They say. The 4th dimension is different than whatever.
Right.
Fucking psychotic. Anyway,
a ton of people say the same thing.
Dogman story. You guys know
I want to know about this. Yo, big time.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so for anybody who doesn't know what Dogman is, think of it like a werewolf, but not.
It doesn't change at the moon.
It's not a human being. It's like a wolf creature. Think of it like Bigfoot, but a wolf.
Yeah,
that. Okay, like a wolf, a standing upright wolf.
A humanoid wolf that'll eat your liver out. Like
Right. So I live in PA right now, and I did a show where I'm in Bucks County, and I did a show in Upper Bucks County, and I was just joking around stage about like aliens and shit, whatever. And afterwards, this chick and her boyfriend come up to me, and with a very serious look in her eye, she's like, "I have a story to tell you," and I'm like,
"Grab a beer,
dig." Oh, what is it? And she starts like, crying at parts. Of, like that's how. So I knew like she wasn't lying. She wasn't drunk. Like she was like very serious, like legitimately scared of what she saw. And she told me, she lives up in the woods in PA, like and she said she had like a balcony. And her drive, like that oversees her driveway. It's all gravel driveway, and her car was like pulled kind of under the balcony a little bit. And every morning she goes out in the summertime, like just drinks coffee, like rips her fucking vape pen, whatever, and just chills and looks out into the woods. She starts to hear like her gravel move by the car. She's like, "Oh, it's probably like a raccoon, or it could be a bear, deer. It's something, right?" She's like, "Oh, well, he can't get me. I'm up on the balcony. It's like the stairs aren't here. Like you can only get to the balcony from inside the house.
Okay,
there's stairs going up." So she says she goes out to the balcony and she's like hearing the gravel moves. She's like looking over to try to see like, oh, what bear is this? Like, I'm scared away. She says, clear as day. This is the morning, like 7 a.m., like sunny out, like no fog, clear as day. 5 feet from her, just elevated. She sees this creature, kind of on all fours, walk right past her car. And she said it was this giant gray wolf creature with like elongated snout, pointy fucking ears. Didn't look at her. Then it stood upright, walked across the street, went to the tree line, turned around, and fucking stared her right in the eyes. And she said she physically froze and couldn't move. And then this thing just walked away. That's,
not even close to uncommon in terms of like. I wonder if when it stood, did it make a cracking sound as it stood up or whatever? Like,
she just said it stood up, and she said it was like 8 feet tall, maybe 7 feet. It was like 7. She said 7 to 9 feet tall, but I'm gonna say it was probably 7 to 8. But like,
I've heard about that hype before, and like I don't know, man. I've heard hundreds of accounts of this. Like at this point, like
it's not a bear. She knows what bears look like.
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Like, hate people that are like, but did you see a bear? Like it's a 5-year-old, and you're like, no, fucking idiot.
I know
it's
what
not a fucking bear.
Like like I'm not fucking crazy. I know. It's hard to. It's not like she's like, oh, I saw it through a tree line. She's like, it was 5 feet in front of my
It was
car.
walking under me.
I saw the fucking thing. And she was like, again, getting emotional, like kind of crying. Her boyfriend like rubbing her back.
You can hear the shaking voice.
I'm like, unless you're fucking with me and like a crazy for no reason. Like,
no,
it's crazy.
No,
which
people.
would be funny if we got him. Because
So this brings us perfectly into our next topic, which I mean, we're already on it basically.
Yeah.
All right.
So real quick, less than 3 minutes. This video is, some clips of Tucker interviewing David Grush.
Interviewing a dog man.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't trust this motherfucker either.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about.
Wait, is this the UFO guy? The one of the people that's yeah.
Yeah, this is the guy. He's like a major in the Air Force, I think, and he's come out and has
so many things to say
done everything correctly.
Good,
he's gone to the whistleblowing organization to do it like correctly. Not
I went to whistleblowing school.
Basically, yeah. So
motherfucker.
Yeah, Tom DeLonge taught me how to blow the whistle.
You got to use two hands, like yeah.
So this is just like a few clips, and it's a little out of order. So go watch the full like 1 or 2 hours or whatever it was, and make up your own mind. But we're going to talk about whether we think this guy is legit or not, or if the things he's talking about are legit. So let's see.
It sounds pretty clear that the U.S. government's been in contact with whatever these are. You wouldn't confirm or deny that in your congressional testimony. It seems very clear to me.
We need to disclose the basics, the fact that we're not alone. We've recovered material and we've recovered the occupants.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Biologics.
Too many lines in the forehead.
Human
Don't
or
trust him.
non-human biologics.
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program. I read some extremely interesting foreign intelligence that was derived by clandestine human sources overseas, espousing, and this is something they're noting about the U.S. They're like, yeah, the U.S. has a retrieval program, reverse engineering program, and I'm like, whoa.
This was the assessment of other countries.
Other countries, yeah. And by the way, I ran all this through DoD security and pre-publication review, mind you. So anything I say in detail,
No, you read Lieutenant Phil Corso's book in the late '90s,
and I would never want to say something publicly that would hamper national security. Just put that out there.
You say these subjects came from so far.
I hate this guy.
Well, that's the thing is you don't really know the origin. Right. People. Even certain directors of government agencies we talked to about this issue, and they were well aware of this program. They like to use the term extraterrestrial, but I'm a little skeptical about that. That's why, I like to use the term NHI, and that also is non-human intelligence.
Is there any evidence that these objects are coming from far away through space into our atmosphere?
That touches some sensitive national technical capabilities I can't cross, but
sounds like there's some suggestion they're coming from under the ocean.
I think it's a multi-domain issue, and there are a bunch of potential origins that are based either in physics theory or biological theory. And, I'm open to all possibilities.
Is it known, so far as you know, where they come from?
There are reasonably confident theories. However, I have not seen all the data, and I don't always, trust everything certain interview subjects espouse, because I might have like an intellectual or data analytical kind of difference in an opinion. Like these other gentlemen and ladies that came to me and my group on the UAP task force, because they wanted a change. Some of them were in tears because they were threatened over the years. And
threatened by whom?
Both the program, because you can imagine, hey, we're going to read you in. This is treason. You will go to the Leavenworth, and you will be executed if you ever divulge these secrets.
Right? I think with Leavenworth for telling about aliens, I would never stop talking about it while I'm in prison.
But
that's crazy. How's that going to silence me?
Oh, they don't have the Constitution in place.
I don't want.
Like, dude, I have so many things to talk about, like on this topic, and this guy in particular. Firstly, I've been a conspiracy guy my whole life, right? And I've always been a believer in aliens up until about 5 years ago.
Because now the government's telling you that they exist.
100%. So it's like here's the thing.
Right back.
It's like here's the thing. It's like, okay, the government, since when was Roswell? 47?
Yeah.
Since Roswell, vehemently denied the existence of anything, to the point where they threatened people. They called you crazy, a conspiracy theorist, for them to all of a sudden be like, just kidding, we got a bunch. Like that flip. There was a flip like that. And then also,
have you heard of,
let me just finish my point, or I'm going to forget it because my brain trauma. And then with this guy, this Grush guy, he's like, first of all, he doesn't look like a guy who gives a shit about the American public. The way he speaks is too much like he's a plant. right? He's well too versed on this stuff.
He's a plant.
100%. And you're telling me that because he took the appropriate channels, the government's cool with this guy telling the world we have alien creatures
All of a sudden,
and craft, and that's fine. But Julian Assange was like, "Hey, you guys helicopter stroke some innocent people." And we were like, "Get him!" Like it's psychotic.
Yeah.
Like you know, it's like they literally accused that guy of fucking false rape allegations. They kept him in a fucking European sanctuary for fucking 3 years, whatever the fucking long. They try to bribe him. They try to get him out. They try to assassinate him because he just said, "Hey, the military kills people they shouldn't kill," which we all knew already.
Yeah, we know, right? But this is proof of that. Like, yeah.
And this guy is like, all the stuff, it's right here. And they said I could say it. What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
You
said about 5 years, which is about right. Like, I would say 2017 even. Like, that's when some like stuff started to become a little bit more like, oh, like the government seems to be like okay with these people. Oh, wait, they're giving them a platform to, and I'm like, fuck these people. Like,
so like, now here's where I will concede that I think there's something, because there's too many people, too many videos, and too many pictures, too much evidence to be like, well, it's all bullshit. Now, this is what dumb Adam Nutter thinks. It could be one of 4 or 5 things. And I don't believe they're off-world creatures. I think that's complete bullshit and horseshit. I don't really believe space is what they say it is, okay? Because I can't prove it. I don't know what space is, okay? Fuck. Because here's the thing. Why would they be honest about what space is, too?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know. But I don't believe there's some off-world creature. I'm also Catholic, and I think that kind of goes against God. But whatever. That aside,
even though that's not my reason, I'm kind of with you on this. Like,
it's not my main reason. It's really not. I think it's one of these things. They're interdimensional, because I do believe that's a possibility. So that's one. 2, this is truly all man-made shit, and we are just taking a crazy angle to cover it up.
Right.
That could be 2. 3,
like
they are from like the Earth or the ocean. Like they are like something like that, right?
Right.
Or I guess it's kind of it. What else would they really?
A past civilization of man that's been living in secret.
That's
like,
I'm even mad, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm throwing that in the Hollow Earth theory.
Right.
You know, it's all that.
So you're up on Hollow Earth. So I can start throwing around some terms here. Like,
I told you, dude. I've been balls deep in conspiracies since I was like 12 years old. I know.
Cheers, brother.
All the stories, all the fucking reports, name a thing. I guarantee I've looked into it before.
Right.
As random as you could fucking think of, I have looked into it before.
I mean, Hollow Earth is out there, and so like that was one of the ones I was going to mention when it comes to this, like, and like the admirable bird shit or whatever it is, the things like that.
Yeah, he said a lot of shit that they just brushed off. This guy's a decorated naval admiral. He fought in the war, and they're like, go explore Antarctica. And he's like, yeah, I saw some shit. They're like, nah.
That's cute.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Like, it's very interesting to me. The whole Antarctica thing is very interesting to me.
Antarctica's wild. Yeah.
The space thing is interesting to me. It's just a lot of this is interesting. Where again, it's like we all know the government lies to our face over every little fucking thing they do. Everything. We all, again, especially us and our like-minded individual and peers that we fuck with. We all say this every day. We get the government's lying. The government's lying. The government's lying. But then you bring up the alien thing, and they're like, "Well, there might be aliens." Like, why would you? Like, why was this different? Like, I don't understand. Like, why? Like, just like people with COVID, they wouldn't lie about COVID. Yeah, they would. Like,
oh my god! And did over and over and over. Yeah.
So instead of this guy in particular, I'm thinking he's more like a limited hangout than he is controlled opposition, because everything that he's coming out with. So you look at what's the book, The Day After Roswell, written by Lieutenant Colonel Phil Corso in the late '90s. Where this guy talks about his career in the Army, that he actually picked up some of the wreckage from Roswell. And then later on in his career, it was his job to take the various pieces, hide it from the other branches of the military, all the alphabet letters of the government that were formed in the mid-50s. And throughout the years, once private sector companies caught up to certain things, like Boeing Skunk Works and whatnot, once they started to be like on the cusp of a discovery, he could show up with a prototype and have them reverse engineer it and claim they invented it. Things that he talked about in particular were like Kevlar, fiber optics, the ink pens that write upside down, night vision.
Anything that's like a nano, like atom layer, molecule layer, of anything when they're using,
It's a bummer if we were too stupid to come up with Kevlar. That's kind of sad. that's not even that one you think you can figure out.
Yeah. But so then you have that. You got guys like Bill Cooper, again, decorated military guy.
Yeah.
And he even wrote in his book, some of the stuff is crap, some of the stuff is real.
Right.
I've sandwiched them together. So A, they don't kill me, which they did anyways.
They did.
And B, so you don't really know what to believe. And because really, he did die. He had Bill Clinton sent the
100%.
Secret Service to go murder him.
Yeah. But that guy wrote about like Satanism in his books too, and that. Behold the Pale Horse. That shit.
Horse,
he exposed a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, the part that really rung true with me was one of the first chapters where President Eisenhower was brought onto one of the aircraft carriers in the middle of the Pacific Ocean because they were going to unveil the most powerful war weapon the world has ever seen. And so he's thinking he's looking at some other kind of nuclear bomb. And then the guy starts talking psychology and social engineering. And he's like, what is this? And then, flash forward 50 years later, I'm like, oh, wow, that was real.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever hear the Jimmy Carter story where he cried when they told him what's going on?
No.
So Jimmy Carter is also a religious dude, right? I know he's not Catholic, but he's, Christian. And he's a believer in God. And apparently they came in and they were like, they told him some shit, and they're like, aliens are off world. They made us, but yada, yada, yada. And he just had a mental breakdown for like 3 weeks. Because, if you believe in God, which I do, that's a direct contradiction to what we believe in. And I also think, okay, this is how far I go in the conspiracy and the agenda stuff. I think a lot of this is also to deconstruct religion because governments fear religion because remember, governments don't like you worshiping anything else but them. That's why they want themselves before your family, before religion, especially before a God. Right? Like, God, family, country. Like they want country, government, like or whatever. Like they don't want any God. So I think if you go, God's not even real. Aliens made us. That's just part of us to not believe. And I think that goes against it's honestly demonic. Oh, that was a fourth thing. I think aliens could be actual fallen demons, like legitimate
fallen angels,
fallen angels. Sorry, who are demonic, like legitimate. And I mean that when I say that. People are like, "Oh, are you being sarcastic?" When I say no.
Do you know that
the
5
Nephilim.
years ago I would have been like, "That's
Nephilim,
crazy." You know what I mean? But now I'm legitimately like, I know it's super weird, and I'm not telling anyone like that you have to think that or whatever. But like, I'm open to that at this point. And
100%, dude.
5 years ago,
the Giants. The Giants were supposedly half breeds of the fallen angels and humans.
Yep.
And they are the Rephaim.
Dude, they found bones at the look
many
into the
times.
You know what, you guys should do an episode on the Smithsonian.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Because it's super shady. Like they have way different rules than every other museum in the country. They don't have to like allocate stuff. Like they don't have to like tell you where things came from. They could just destroy things. They get like they don't have to follow a single rule a single museum has to in the rest of this country at all. Not one of the rules. It's wild, dude.
No, it's Wild West.
Yeah.
Well, so Adam, have you seen what was it? It was the Canadian Secretary of Defense. It was like 2012-ish when he retired. His name is Paul Hellyer.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
Okay. And so he does this like 30-minute speech on the Canadian Parliament floor while he's retiring. And he's talking about there's like 13 known species of extraterrestrials and like 7 of them work exclusively with the United States government.
Yeah.
And then he even names off like what they are, what they look like, where they're, what bases
Which,
they're
by the
at.
way, that could be fucking misinformation too.
Well, who knows? But, this new guy here, all he's doing is regurgitating this stuff.
Right.
And it's stuff that, these people were demonized, stripped of their fortune.
Yeah. Right.
All that stuff. So it's disclosure that's already happened. It's old stuff. So this guy's
but it was stepped
has
on.
Skeletons in the closet because it's getting to a point where it's so widely accepted that this stuff is really about to break loose. Like we're on the cusp of some kind of discovery. Which half the spaceships we see in the sky right now are really the U.S. military. It's not actually aliens.
I would think so at this point.
The TR-3B is a patent from the U.S. Air Force has a patent on an airplane called the TR-3B, the triangular shaped UFO that everybody's been seeing lately. That makes pivots, ultrasonic pivots and stuff midair. That's our aircraft. Mm-hmm. We had that. We've had hypersonic drives. We've had the anti-gravity drives since the early 80s, at the very least.
The Nazis were like at least trying to develop weird stuff with this, and brought paperclip and all that, and brought them over here.
Did you ever hear of the flat screen tech in the 50s? So they have pretty much came up with flat screen technology in the 50s, like our TVs are today. And then the government came in and said, "That's ours now," and then we got it back in the 90s.
We'll sell it back to
like
you
that's
in
what happened.
60
Yeah.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened. So
Right.
cool. Thanks. We could have had it forever.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe, this guy's just coming out with all these old theories, all this stuff that's actually gained traction over the last 30 years. And they're just going to bury him with something crazy like, oh, this guy rapes kids.
Dude, the Stan Romanek story. It's a documentary. It's people are gonna laugh at it because it's silly, but or John Roman. It's either Stan or John Romanek. Look that shit up. It was on Netflix a few years ago. This guy has been like, yo, I am being harassed by aliens. I am being fucked with by aliens. I'm being fucked with. But in this video, he has 2 actual recorded documents of aliens in his house. Now, they could easily be faked. And when you watch it, you'll be like, it could be faked, right? Here's the wild part, though. Part of his siding on his outside of the house was fucked up.
I know this story.
Then he just wakes up one day, the guys
and the people are coming and removing it.
And he's like, "Who are you guys?" They're like, "Your landlord's hired." They won't even talk. It was.
They look like they just have generic suits with no name tags.
Yeah. Anyway,
I actually know this.
Guy gets busted for child porn.
Yes, that's right. Where it's they were in his house anyway. They had access to it.
Yes. So it's yeah. So yeah. Now here's a rub. Does it look like he did child porn? Yeah. His face.
He does kind of have. Okay.
His face and facial hair are I did kids. Right. 100% true. But maybe this guy was straight framed. I'm not saying he was. He might have been. He might be the absolute worst piece of shit human in the. Or both things could be true. He could be. He also could be the kids. You know what I'm saying?
The wood panel basement background for the photo doesn't help anything.
It's not helping his cause for sure.
That straight up says, "I beat my children."
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
In this room, yeah.
Watch the doc, dude. It's pretty interesting. It's all.
I have. That's actually old. That's been out for.
Yeah, it's old. Yeah,
10 or more years or something.
But they show the footage of these aliens he claims to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
there
I
are a
haven't
few
seen
things in the Tucker interview even that don't match up, that David Grush is saying right there that seem to contradict.
I'm sure.
He goes over saying that maybe these weren't intentionally or they weren't accidentally crashed, but they're probes that were supposed to come here and just crash. But then he talks about recovering pilots. Yeah, and he says they're not extraterrestrial and that they're spacecraft. So
I saw a crazy thread on Reddit one time, and again, take it for what it was. It was from 4chan though, and it was a guy. He's like, I used to work on a program 2 years ago. He's like, I am dying of pancreatic cancer or liver cancer. He's like, I'll just tell you what I know. And the way he was speaking was very believable. He was like, I don't know that. I can't answer that question. I don't know. I didn't work on that. He was it wasn't just saying, he wasn't answering all
you
the
can't know
questions
too
that
much.
Wanted to hear. Yeah. And again, it could be bullshit. He could be lying for sure. But I just gotta fucking find it. But
there's that one guy in Iceland or Sweden. I forget his name. That he was friends with an alien since he was 9 years old. Dude's in his 80s now, and he's got an apple that's 50 years old that never rotted. That this alien gave him. He's got all this weird memorabilia that's inexplicable.
That's bizarre.
That tested this kind of stuff, and they're like, "This isn't from this planet. What is this?" So I mean, you got guys like that, and it's this Grush dude, however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
When you have to flex your bona fides like he does and talk about I'm the highest level guy to ever give this kind of information.
Yeah.
Well, then why is your head still on your shoulders?
Yeah.
I mean, because that stuff's not allowed. I mean, just look at Hillary Clinton's got bodyguards that fold themselves in half backwards and zip up their own suitcase to commit suicide. Just because she has an unrestricted email server in her bathroom. So guys like this, if they're really going to disclose something like this, it's going to totally uproot half the religious sector as well, probably. It's a little fishy.
I agree.
It just seems like, this guy, it's one of these efforts, I think, that they're just trying to co-opt all the theories that have gained traction over the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And then all into this dude, he's the authority, and then they can burn him. If you subscribe to any of these thoughts later on, you're part of whatever he was doing.
I found it.
And you can steer it a certain way.
Yeah.
I want to see this though. Yeah, what Adam's got, but
it's like I said, it's pretty long.
Are you part of our chat? You should send it to us in the chat if you're in there. I don't know.
It's not on my. I got it. Hold on. I got it sent to my email, and then because it's from my phone.
And you can send it to me on X if you like.
I'll throw it in the private chat. I'll send it to myself.
Okay,
and
that works.
I'll send you the link.
Because I'll read that later.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. But essentially, this guy goes, I have intimate knowledge of what the U.S. currently knows about UFOs minus the last 2 years, because he wasn't working. He goes, UFOs are primarily unmanned drones. UFOs are built to spec each time they are deployed. UFOs are created by a mobile construction facility that hides in the ocean. Construction facility destroys anything that comes close to it and will disappear for days when approached aggressively. U.S. believes the facility has been active on Earth for at least 100 years or more longer. And then people ask questions, and he goes on and answer. And it's like he's also saying things though that you're also hearing now. And this was also back in 2023.
A lot of the like underwater stuff is stuff I've been hearing about, like lower key for a long time. But
I think it's 2023. Yeah, 2023. But this is like before. Before all like the Grush stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say. Sorry. So here, let me fucking find this for you. But it's interesting because he was saying a lot of stuff, and you're like, oh yeah, I've been here. But also he's been said a lot of stuff that you've heard for years.
Right.
And it's like almost like a corroboration of it. You go, okay.
And then him saying he's the first one to ever say this. You know, like this isn't Berenstain Bears or the Horn of Plenty on the Fruit of the Loom label, or whether or not, you know, what's that one comedian, you know, whether or not he was in a movie called Shazam.
Right. Sinbad.
Yeah, which by the way, he wasn't. But go on.
You know, this is stuff that like I still have the book on my shelf. Like,
right. Yeah.
You know, you're not the first guy to say this, and you're definitely not the highest ranked to ever say it.
Right.
Correct.
Who was the guy before him, like Lou Elizondo or whatever, that I also didn't trust?
Now, Lou Elizondo is one. In this Tucker interview, he says Lou Elizondo is legit. So
yeah, exactly. And I don't trust Lou Elizondo, so he's another one that's like
and
too
Muhammad
clean
said Jesus
for me,
was
like...
a cool dude. So what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
But yeah, Bob Lazar was interesting too, because he was that engineer in like the 80s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and he's real quiet. He's like, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about this crap anymore.
Yeah,
no, he was on Rogan, so I wouldn't say.
Wow.
He made his. I wouldn't say he wants to stay quiet with it. I think
it probably reached a crescendo. It was like, you're going to go on the most popular podcast in the world, or you're going to die.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
So I don't know what to think of him. Honestly,
that's the thing. I don't know. I don't claim to know. I have no fucking idea. You know, I just know whatever you're telling me is not true. That I do know. Go. So it's like you guys are like, you know, the government, not you guys. The government's lying. This guy's full of shit. There's no way they're letting this guy just walk around living.
Right.
There's no way, dude. I'm sorry. How can they possibly be doing that?
I started kind of early in this because like my family's experienced some like weird stuff, and I was always like interested in like the concept of aliens, ghosts, Bigfoot, demon, whatever the thing was. And the older I get, the more I'm like, oh, those don't feel like that different of a topic at this point. Like, and there was once where I thought they were all very separate things.
Yeah, I feel.
But now I'm like, maybe they're not all that separate of a thing. I don't know if I ever told on
even
this
atheists acknowledge that there's an energy field around the human body that's not in other living things.
Right.
You know, they just don't acknowledge that's the spirit.
Right.
So it's they do all interconnect in some form. It's, you know, the alien thing. I'm more on the mind that they're interdimensional.
I think
not to say that, like, you know, they're on the far end of the universe or anything like that. Or you know, if you're traveling interdimensionally, it's easier to go super long distances like that in the blink of an eye.
Either way, though, the dimensional tech, I think, is part of it for sure. Might even be like a consciousness merge thing where it's like we think of technology as far as like gadgetry, but there also could be the technology of mind that we're just not as able to tap into a bit.
Right.
Well,
and then you log into Gaia. Sorry.
Like those remote viewing, like the Manosphere goats and all that shit. Like, there's some pretty interesting stories about that. Like when they were like, they gave a guy, they said, we're not even going to tell you where this fucking is. We're not even going to show you the coordinates. Just like hold this envelope and tell us what you see. And he's like, I see like these weird tall creatures, and like I can't tell. He's like, finally he was at Mars like 1 million years ago. He remote like viewed. Really, so there's alien species on Mars. It's like I mean, again, it could be total bullshit, but it's in
the CIA is interested in it, and like I don't think the CIA chases bullshit. And
the CIA has training programs for it. I mean, there's a guy named Major Ed Dames that actually does rotating seminars.
Yeah.
My devil's advocate to that is the CIA are spies, and that's their job, is to lie to you. So it's like
that's totally true. Yeah.
Like, why are we trusting this? That's the other thing we got to be careful with too, especially our community, like the conspiracy community and just the libertarian community, where we go, the CIA are fucking a bunch of murderers, they're coup enthusiasts, and then we go, well, they have this document that supports our thing we like. It's like, that lies too. Like, the whole thing is lying. That's what the CIA does. They're a fucking lie factory.
You have to kind of sniff out.
I've been in some of those kind of remote viewing type workshops, and I can say that there's some results that can be produced with just 40 hours of training that transcend coincidence.
Oh, I believe that. I'm just saying we have to be careful with this. Like, we can't just use the CIA as like a quote reference point and be like, look, CIA said it's a thing. It's like, yeah, they say a lot of shit. They're kind of scumbags and lie. Like, that's their. Also, I fully believe that the concept they're on misinformation constantly to find rats. I think too.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a big way to find a rat. If you tell 4 scientists 4 different things.
Yes.
And then one gets to the public, you're like, oh, I only told so-and-so about the Romulan galaxy. So
yeah, it's like that the Game of Thrones where they tell 3 different people the 3 different juicy gossip lies, and then they kill the one that's told the right.
That's how you do it.
Or the wrong one.
That's like Art of War 101 shit.
Spy
and espionage is like, yeah. You burn out the rat. And how you burn out the rat? Well, that's one way to do it, and that's the easiest way to do it, I would imagine, in that field. So,
Zane, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, so it is usually my custom whenever Alden and Steven spend a half an hour talking about conspiracy theories that I talk for a couple minutes to provide a brief counter argument. But I did want to touch on the religious aspect again. Adam, I know you said you're Catholic. I'm Anglican. Stephen, I don't know specifically what you are, but I know you're Christian as well.
Non-denom Protestant.
Right. So the two of you may or may not be familiar with the ancient heresy of Gnosticism, which sprung up in like the 1st or 2nd century, which it kind of added on to the gospel message, the idea that there was some sort of like lower level God who is evil, but he's the one that he created the material world, and the material world is the demiurge, which is who created the material world, and it's full of deception, and most people have no idea what's going on, and you have to have secret knowledge in order to really understand what's really happening, and most people don't have the secret knowledge and are sheep and are being constantly deceived about everything. But of course, this was condemned as a heresy because the concept of the demiurge is completely unbiblical and ridiculous. And I would say that as faithful Christians, we need to recognize that God in his providence has woven his truths into the natural world. And therefore, I think it would be very difficult to deceive the vast majority of people about really basic truths. So I'm obviously not saying that governments never lie. They lie all the time about all sorts of different things. And sometimes those lies are very secret. But I would say that we need to at least check that we're not going overboard about what exactly we're saying is true and what's not true.
I get that. But, how old were you when you figured out Hitler didn't actually die in the bunker?
Right. Yeah.
Right. So,
and I'm curious too how you square that as a libertarian, knowing that like most of the world thinks magically about economics.
Right.
It's like that's basic information that I guess hasn't been hidden because it is out there, but most of the world just has this fantastical notion of like just whatever the government provides prosperity.
Yeah.
It's true. If you talk to the average person, you go, how's inflation happen? And they go, well, the president. I go, stop. Wrong already. Wrong already. It's only one way. You print shit that doesn't back by anything. That's it. And especially leftists lose their fucking mind when you say that. They're like, no, it's because of socioeconomic. Shut up. It's because they're printing money back by nothing. That's the only answer, and it's the only answer it's ever going to be.
Zach, you hit the nail on the head right there when you said that that information is available. It's not the only reason people don't know about it is because they've been brainwashed into something else, or because they're too lazy, or they've got too much other stuff going on. But that information is there to be had. Like lots of people throughout history have believed crazy things about, electricity or the nature of various diseases or whatever. But it's not that information was being nefariously hidden from them. It just had not been discovered yet, but it was there. So I'm open to the fact that there's additional information that we haven't discovered yet about some of this stuff. But I'm usually very skeptical of even the government's capability to suppress information about such basic truths as the nature of the universe or all these things that we've been talking about the past hour.
Well, I mean, if they can be wrong about the weather on an almost daily basis and you still go along with, you still leave the house wearing a raincoat when they're wrong so many times in a row, it's not, what was it, Aristotle that said no one arrives suddenly at the summit of vice, right? So this is a gradual incline in the narrative. It's not, we didn't just get here all of a sudden. I mean, it's one of those things where you complacency gives way to convenience. And then it's one of those things where you just start to get lazy after a while. Like, we've never had all of the amenities at our fingertips that we have in this first world modern day society. And I'm sure, several hundred years ago that, the Romans or, a couple thousand years ago that the Romans thought, oh, wow, it's never going to be better than this, but
right.
And that gives way to laziness. And that's
the
what
laziness is a
point. We
key
drop the
word.
vigilance. We quit sharing with each other. Everyone's like, I'm just going to keep to myself. Whatever the reason is, it's, knowledge quits getting disseminated.
Yeah.
And my people starve for lack of knowledge. It's just one of those things where, like what we're doing right now, having a conversation. So many people in the world don't do this anymore.
Right. Not the same way. And the laziness I wanted to kind of hone in on a little bit because it's, I wanted to, expand on that because one of the things I studied a lot is psychology and personalities and the psyche and different things. And Carl Jung was one of the people that I was really interested in. And he had some strange things to say that were sort of off the beaten for his time. And I like to know more about the psyche because I like to understand where my blind spots are, where my weak points are. And the lazy thing is interesting because all of us are inherently lazy in a way, now to different degrees and for different reasons, but the mind likes to take shortcuts because you waste a lot of energy when you have to, if you had to think about every day, you're like, what am I going to eat for breakfast? It's when you get into a routine, you're like, I wear that clothes, I eat this, I do that, there's certain things. And if you get to a point where there's this rule, nature does this all the time where it's the red striped snake thing where something's I'm not going to eat that. It might be poisonous because a lot of things that are red are poisonous.
Right.
So you get that quick, your brain wants to push it good or bad, and we get this this is why we have two parties. This is why we have this whole thing is this good, bad thing or whatever, because it's taking advantage of a psychological sort of a default thing, a default mode network in the brain. That's a survivalist thing that is we are inherently trying to save energy. And a lot of the time, once we arrive at a thing, based on what our movies tell us, family tells us, whatever, we're just we don't rethink about it every moment, every day of our lives. And it takes a lot of energy to really truly think about a thing. And I like to try to consider that when I talk to someone and myself, and so that I can try to sometimes lift up those pieces and truly re-examine them and admit where I'm my mind might be working a certain way, working irrationally, or where I'm talking to someone else. And because we're going to do, so Adam, next week or this weekend, we're going to talk about 9/11 for hours.
Fun.
Yeah. And
hey, I was there. I saw the smoke from Staten Island where I live.
You were in New York?
Not grumpy.
I'm from New York. Yeah. I'm from Staten Island. I've only been in PA for 10 years. So I lived in New York for 27 years. I mean, I'm a New Yorker. I'm from Staten Island. When I was a sophomore in high school during 9/11, and I had classmates' parents who were killed. I had we saw the smoke from our classroom. I remember my dad actually. Can I tell you the funniest fucking memory of 9/11 for me? And I don't know why this is so funny to me now.
That's an interesting way to start a story, but yeah, go ahead.
I know, but. Can I tell you?
There's so many to choose from, but tell me the funniest.
Yeah.
I actually do have I actually have a bit about it, but this isn't in the bit, but this is true. I'm the only child my parents have, right? They don't have any siblings.
Right.
Again, I'm in the epicenter of New York. I'm in New York City, technically Staten Island. You know, this is happening. Every other student got picked up at like second period, and I didn't get picked up to like sixth. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? And my mom was like, I forgot about you. And I was like, I'm the only kid. What do you mean? I'm the only one. I'm the only responsibility you have. You forget I'm here.
Yeah.
So then I go home and like I missed, because remember, this is 2001. So there's no like fucking cell phone I could look at what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's happening until I get home and see the news. And now they're just showing the replay.
Yeah.
And I just see my dad casually making like a peanut butter banana sandwich and like casually eating it, watching the towers fall, and that's to me is so funny. I don't know why.
That's
it's just,
the
it's
human
such a funny
condition.
visual.
Yeah.
He's just like, like with the plate, like it's like the world's collapsing in front of us. That
sucks.
So fucking
Yeah.
funny to me. I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Eating a sandwich." I was like,
Yeah.
"Now."
I need calories, you know.
So fucking funny, dude. But yeah, those two things that day really, as an adult man, I look back at that, it's so fucking funny. My mom was like, I forgot. I'm like, what do you mean?
An unlikely pairing of things. Yeah. My God. Where do you mind if I do the quick version of like, where do you like fall on all of that? And
Inside job between the Saudis, the Mossad, and the deep state, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there we we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's no way I believe that was anything other than that. No way. Especially Building 7. Shut up. Notre Dame was on fire and that shit didn't collapse. It's built in the 1700s.
Right.
Give me a fucking break.
Like, Building 7, Building 6
care.
too. Like, yeah.
Well, Building 7 that had a lot of gold reserves and the FBI files on the Clintons.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, all of it. All the fucking the money they were missing. The records were kept there for that shit too. Dude, all of it. I mean, watching those towers come down. I'm not even saying it was like controlled explosions or anything like that. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. But like, you don't even need that shit. I think
right.
The damage is done. You don't need the fucking things to come down. I don't know if coming down. I think that was a fucking plus. I don't know if, unless they did put explosives in there, if they just were like, we're just running planes in the buildings, I don't think they thought it was gonna come down. Honestly, I think that was an added bonus to it.
I would take that a step further and say that, I mean, when you find like, so I was going to do like I'm practice round with you a little bit because we're going to be talking about this. And so we have Jake and Zane we're going to do sort of like a debate kind of a thing.
Okay.
They're on the sort of side of like the mainstream argument, sort of like whether it's devil's advocate or not, like that's the side they're sort of taking to make it interesting. And Steven and I are on apparently the crazy side.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I've just been over the years, I've just been following the evidence or whatever. And I've just sort of arrived where I am trying to be as just rational as possible. I started looking into this when I was a kid. I'm not, like what kind of preconceived notions did I have at 11? Like,
and I got caught up again, physically seeing some of the damage. And again, classmates' parents were killed. We were there. So I got caught up in the right wing propaganda 100%. Like
that makes sense though, man.
Let's
like
kill him. I was all about it. I was all but I was also 12, 13 years old.
Right.
I didn't know any world events. I didn't understand anything. I just know that we were attacked and people.
But that's a
died
cultural phenomenon that is going on, and like you can't ignore it, and it is a thing.
Oh yeah,
it's been 20 years now.
If that happened today, Adam, I'd be like, wow, terrible people died, and like that doesn't change, but I'd be like, this is bullshit. Like, right away, I'd be like, this is bullshit, right? Like, these are people who were fucking killed.
I agree.
Like, 100%.
And we just covered like the Vegas shooting thing, and that was something where I'm like, dude, people died. Like, it's not tragic.
Memory hold gone.
Yeah,
completely. No one talks about it.
Yeah,
I saw helicopters with fucking muzzle flashes coming out of them.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pretend it didn't exist.
Like
it's fucking
the
crazy.
news stories were like peaking, and then like a day later, like never. Just it was like, shh, don't talk about it.
So some elderly guy who couldn't carry 100 pounds lifted up 40 rounds, 40 assault rifles.
Yeah,
hundreds of rounds of ammunition, all in bags without being seen or had help. And then go back to the 9/11 thing. So this 6'7" fucking guy on dialysis who needs it to live is running around from cave system to cave system, who planned the biggest arguable attack in human history, in without any like real technology. I don't know.
Who declined it at first?
Or how about
that's the thing too. Don't forget this, dude. The Taliban. Remember the Taliban? Right, 9/11 happened. We were like, it was you guys. They went. If you could show us one piece of evidence that Osama bin Laden did this, we will turn him over to the Hague ourselves.
Yeah.
And we went. Now
Here's
we're
a
gonna
bandana.
invade.
Yeah.
We were like, no, we're coming. That ain't gonna happen. We're coming. They're like, don't.
Yeah. Never mind.
Please
Never
don't.
mind the fact that George Bush had lunch with him the week prior.
Yes, that's right.
I didn't know that one. That's interesting.
Yes.
Steven, I'm excited
Leave that out.
There's
I'm
pictures
excited
of it.
to
Aren't
talk
there
to you about
pictures of it? Oh no, there's
Yes.
pictures of it.
Oh, I'm
there's
sure.
pictures of him when he
If
was
there
there,
is,
like
like-
in the 80s.
Yeah,
For sure.
No, there was pictures of that lunch.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. The whole thing is wild. Again, I'm so.
Well, and then how
fucking-
about the politician from Pakistan? Was she the president? or
Oh,
something
that's
like
right. That bitch got killed.
Yes, she was
Oh,
on CNN.
that's right.
She was like,
Bhutto.
she's like, Osama's on dialysis. They
Yes.
shot his dialysis doctor. This
Yeah.
dude's dead.
Yeah.
This dude.
She was assassinated
in the
less
Kush
or like a
Mountains
month
somewhere.
later.
Yeah, and
Bro.
then, no, it was like the next day. She was in some kind of like motor
dumped.
parade.
This is the Patrice O'Neill bit, but we dumped his body down the ocean like we were flushing cocaine down a toilet, hiding from the cops.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Patrice.
'Cause,
line,
like,
so,
we don't want
but,
anyone-
like that's
Don't pay
He's right.
attention to the body. Like, yeah.
like what? So you're telling me we finally tracked down and shoot in the face the guy who was responsible for
Yeah.
all this stuff, and then we just took a picture
And we
of
treat
his
him like a
exploded
dead
head
goldfish. Like,
and threw him in the ocean because we don't want martyrs. Fuck you. When have we ever done that? Ever? We've killed
No.
people all the time.
it's because it wasn't
And we
him.
never flushed
Yeah.
him down
Don't
the
want
ocean.
martyrs. I watched Gaddafi get beat to death on a live stream
Dude,
while I was at
Saddam.
work.
Saddam got dragged to the streets before we fucking got actually
Absolutely,
put to a
I
court.
watched that live stream while I
Yeah,
was
that's
at
what
work.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
So shut up. I don't want to hear. And then, by the
Yeah.
way, this guy Robert O'Neill, this Navy SEAL, I think he's a fucking. I don't want to use that word because I don't want you guys to get in trouble on YouTube. He's a fucking bitch, dude. I don't believe that guy for a second. Again, this guy, super clandestine mission, and this guy's like, I wrote a book telling all the stories about it, and you're not dead.
well, he's
Yeah.
he's the only one that's not because
Yes, he's the only one who's not. That's right. That's
because
right.
all the SEALs that were a part of
Right.
the Bin Laden raid were
Okay.
on what was it? They called it an air cow. It was what they used in Vietnam, the low and
Yeah.
slow helicopter.
Like the Chinook,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the entire SEAL Team 6 was on this thing,
except for him.
and they called it Extortion 1, and it got shot. And
It's
all of
so
them died.
convenient how many people die on helicopters and planes, man.
Well, I mean, like
I
just
actually think
tactically,
helicopters make sense because I think that goes against God. But planes, for some reason, like the physics of helicopters, like don't make like bumblebees. Like, how are you flying? How the fuck
The
does this work?
dragonfly, yeah.
But I mean,
I'm-
Michael Savage wrote a book about this thing because that was one of those things. Like they called it Extortion 1. It was all the Navy SEALs tactically always go in separate vehicles.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
they have people on their flank that aren't in the SEAL team.
Yeah,
They
have they have
mix
like
it up,
reserve
so you never
teams
know
in
where
case
they are.
the first team gets wiped out. They have like a SEAL, another SEAL team to replace their team in case. Yeah, there's a lot of fail
And like
safes.
decoys, yeah.
They're never
Yeah.
all in the same vehicle. That's so
Yeah,
tactically.
it's like regular
horrible.
troop transports are, not like highly classified special ops teams. They're
Right.
not going in the Osprey like all the Marines are. Like they have other shit. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. All we have to do is go, that doesn't make sense, huh? And people go, oh, but I go, all I said was that doesn't make sense, and you refuse to even. So on my
Yeah.
on the Cult of Us podcast, I did a little bit of a tease for our Patreon. You guys remember that house that blew up in Virginia like 3 weeks ago during that?
We just talked about that, yeah.
Fuck, okay. So I did a little Patreon like rundown on that for if anyone wants to go give that a listen. That's why it's like interesting too. You just go look at this dot, connects to this dot. That guy's parents worked for like the CIA and the South Korean propaganda. His mom worked for the South Korea propaganda division.
Really?
Yes, and his dad worked for the CIA.
Perfect. Yeah. Nothing to see here. That's
And
just
you're
a
like,
normal.
okay, well, right there. Let's
Yeah.
look right there and start there, and let's work our way back a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, dude. It is.
Well, and
legitimately
then
batshit crazy.
also let's look at what shot down the Osprey that SEAL Team 6 was in after the Bin Laden raid. A Katyusha rocket. A
that?
Soviet era. It's
Okay.
a Soviet
like
era
an
missile.
RPG.
Yeah, a Soviet era RPG that we sold to the Afghanis.
Well, yeah.
Naturally, yeah. What was Zane? 30 minutes ago, Zane
Oh.
was going to say something like,
I was just gonna say, go on record and say it's okay to be a Christian and still like helicopters.
"Oh,
that was just a joke for me.
A-
but
a
yes,
whirly
I
bird.
wasn't serious. And it goes against God. I was just making a joke because, like, physically, like they say, like how the fuck the helicopters like same thing about like that's I mean the bumblebee joke because bumblebees technically shouldn't be able to fly.
I used
like
to
by their
think
physics.
that the blade was like a ceiling fan and it was fixed, but they flap, so they like turn. I didn't even know that until like I don't know
Yeah.
5 years ago or something.
If you watch it slow motion, it's fucking wild.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, actually. Yeah.
Did Da Vinci really invent that, or was he inspired by aliens?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Or interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
Right.
Nephilim shit. As top,
Yeah.
as top Loftus says.
There we
Mhm.
go.
All right, so we
Did we talk
got
about
10
Elvis Jones
minutes.
yet?
No, I don't know if we'll get. I mean, we can go to that. I feel like that's going to be a longer than 10-minute conversation.
To talk about what?
Trivia.
Alex Jones.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
longer than 10 minutes too.
Oh, we doing trivia? I fucking rule at trivia. I love trivia. We doing
All right,
trivia?
let's
We
do
gotta do
trivia then.
trivia.
Let's do it.
Nobody's
Also
watching
may
anymore
have-
anyway.
They will eventually.
Yeah, Grumpy went to bed, I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's do trivia, which may or may not be rigged in favor of Adam.
Oh, comedians.
Wildlife and Well, he's also an animal guy. So
I am an animal guy, a big animal guy. Fucking love. I whip out animal facts, and people are like, I don't care. I'm like, I know, but I like to say it.
All right, okay.
Let's see what we got.
All right, trivia. This is the latest we've ever done it, I think. But let's get.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
This is the record.
Hey, we had
So
some good
basically-
conspiracy talk.
Yeah. So basically, round 1, 10 questions, 1 point. Round 2, 5 questions, 2 points. Round 3, 3 questions, 3 points. Once I ask the question, if you want to answer, cover or just raise your hand or cover the camera, something like that.
Me doing that because it's far away from me.
Yeah. And I will call on whoever I see first. Don't blurt out answers. If you win,
12.
you just skip to not be the loser for the week. So-
Yeah.
All
Yeah, first
right.
to last.
So let's go. Sorry, I'm working like 2 screens, so I may be a little slow, but round
Oh,
1,
dude, I've got a Bloomberg
wildlife.
terminal over here. You kidding me?
So, question 1: what is the largest species of shark in the world?
Oh well, that was
Alden.
insane.
Whale shark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
whale
easy.
shark.
Megalodon. Come on.
All right, question 2: which bird is known for its long curved bill and native to the Galapagos Islands? Alden.
Ibis?
No.
Dang it.
Zane.
Toucan.
Mm-mm.
No.
Oh wait, no.
Are you raising your hand,
bill?
Adam? Or?
No, sorry, no.
Okay.
Curved bill and native to the Galapagos.
All right, I have a.
I'm waiting.
Steven.
Stevens. Yeah.
Opila bird.
Nope.
Ah.
I don't even know what that one is.
All right, I
This
can give
isn't-
it.
Hold on, can I give it a shot? This isn't the blue
Yeah, go
movie,
ahead.
is it?
It is. Blue-footed
Is
booby.
it really?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Good call,
Boobies
Adam.
always win.
Told you I'm an animal guy.
Well, I'm a booby guy, so I should have got that.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair.
All right. So I just realized I wasn't keeping score, so I started doing that.
They have a curved bill. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, that's not their main feature. That's why I was like, is this a trick question or not? And it kind of was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to know that most of our questions are generated by ChatGPT. Like I do some
Okay.
light fact
Okay, so
checking,
Chat
but
GPT likes boobies. All right.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Now we know.
my hint was going to be that it has a funny name. I figured that.
Right. That might have. Yeah.
So, all right. Question 3: what is the largest species of big cat in the world? I think I saw Alden just barely before.
Is it the Bengal tiger?
That is not what I have.
It's technically the liger. I believe.
Really?
Technically, but that's a genetic altered species. So Siberian tiger is actually the largest tiger in the world. That's actually a fact. I know that for a fact. Yeah,
Dang it.
so-
Good job, man.
Yeah.
Siberian.
Respect.
It's always like during the trivia that I question myself so much because I'm like, I
Right.
don't freaking know what a Bengal tiger is. Is that the same
It's
thing?
a smaller version of a Siberian tiger.
It's honestly,
Okay.
it's just basically the same thing, just like developed differently in a different region or whatever.
It's like more musculature. It's a little slightly bigger.
I
Dang it,
remember
yeah.
during the ice apocalypse of 2014 here in Atlanta. So Adam, in 2014 here in Atlanta, we got
An
2
inch
inches
of snow. Yeah.
I know you guys.
Yeah,
An
and,
inch.
but like we don't have the infrastructure to ice the roads at all.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell by all the pile ups you guys get.
Oh, dude, it was a mess. But there was somebody up in Buckhead, which is like the upper rent district of Atlanta, and there was an ibex that got loose. And I remember hearing about that on the news,
Okay, yeah.
and everybody was flipped out because this thing murdered like 50 dogs before it got caught.
An ibex? Really?
Yeah,
Isn't that just a gazelle?
Oh no, it was a lynx. Sorry.
Oh,
Lynx.
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
It was one.
No
It was
one
one of those
questioned my
Siberian
animal knowledge ever. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
there
gonna
you
say.
go, yeah.
Never question my animal knowledge. I'm an
There you
animal
go.
guy
Yeah,
through
yeah.
and through.
Yeah, I had the letter X correct, but it was it was one of those like mountainous
Yeah,
cats.
yeah, lynxes. Well, fuck yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Man. They're I mean they're small, but they're absolutely a predator.
I like the
But-
idea of a deer
yeah.
out there fucking things up. Though. Like,
Yeah, that's why I was like, that thing's badass. Also, these dogs suck. Fight back.
There was a
dog. Jesus
tiger
Christ.
loose in McDonough a couple of years ago, and that was
There was a bull on the New Jersey Transit today that got loose
Oh
from
my
a stable, so that was funny.
Jesus.
All right. Question 4. Which flightless bird has the largest eggs in proportion to its body
well, okay.
of any bird in the world?
I wasn't the first one to raise my hand.
I was first on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you first, Steven.
It
Go
was
ahead.
Stephen,
I'm gonna go with
me,
an ostrich.
Adam, I think.
Not an ostrich.
Not.
It is a kiwi.
Kiwi.
Oh,
100%
in
correct.
proportion to its body.
Yes,
Yeah. It
Yeah.
lays an egg like the size of it almost. It's
it
crazy.
does. Kiwis also have a crazy long bill too,
They do. See, that's another curved, like,
Yeah.
crazy bill. Yeah.
and they make a weird noise when they run. If they,
I've never heard that, though. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're like. "Ah!"
But have you heard turtles fuck?
Yeah. Mhm.
I've heard that
Adam's
Luther
like, oh,
Vandross
yeah.
makes it more likely to happen.
Yeah, dude, my TikTok is just comedy and MMA and football and animal videos.
And
That's
turtles
all.
fucking. Yeah.
That's all my TikTok is curated to.
All right. Question 5. Which venomous snake has an appearance with bands of black, yellow, and red, known
Oh,
for its...
Nah, he got
I
it.
think
you
I
got
saw
it, you got it.
Zane.
Well, finish the question. Known for its what?
Oh, and known for its potent neurotoxin. So
Okay.
basically venom. I think I saw Zane first.
I'll go coral snake.
Correct.
Yeah.
Coral snake.
Me and Adam are both like, damn it, he got it. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not to
Yeah.
be
I'm fast with
confused
the
with
hand thing.
Adam,
I
do you
want-
know this for bonus for bragging rights? Do you know the snake it's often confused with that's not venomous?
I know the bands are reversed, but I always forget the name of the one that's not.
The scarlet king snake is the one that's
That-
like
yeah,
it looks
yeah,
just
yeah.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's instead of red, yellow, black, it's like black, yellow, red.
Yeah, it's like yeah.
All right. Question 6. What is the only country where lemurs are naturally found?
Oh,
Adam.
Madagascar.
Yep.
That's right.
We're just like confirming each other's. It's basically just whose hand is faster. Like we're all like,
Yeah,
yep.
I know.
I mean, there's a whole animated series my son grew up with that
Yeah.
there's proof of all this. So yeah.
Right. They have lemurs and
Alright.
vanilla beans apparently. I don't know. Which I
Yes.
don't know why it's called vanilla bean. It's not even bean, but
Oh yeah, it's like it's like a long.
Well,
The
it's,
stem.
it's in a stem. If you
Yeah.
open the
Which,
stem, there's
hey,
beans in there.
Fun
Oh,
fact,
okay.
because I make beer. Fun fact: Uganda has the I forget the name of the oil that gives the
Mhm.
vanilla its flavor.
mhm.
But the Uganda vanilla beans have 50% more of that oil than the Madagascar vanilla beans.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hmm.
Bonus trivia.
Yeah.
Bonus.
All right. Question 7. What was the name and species of the first living creature to journey into space, launched
Oh.
by the Soviet Union? Zane.
Ah,
It was a dog named Laika.
correct.
Nice.
Yeah. Laika the dog.
I knew
In
dog.
1957.
I had forgotten Leica, so I wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
Are you gonna say monkey?
No, I knew dog. I just forgot the
Okay,
name
yeah.
of the dog. Yeah. Monkey was like the next one, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Or
yeah.
like monkey.
Well,
or
actually, it might have
chimp or
been
whatever.
third. I think like fucking like a mouse was two or something.
Yeah, it
weird.
was-
like a weird
was
two. And
dog.
then, yeah,
And then it was a Democrat, and then it was a monkey. Like,
yeah, that was it.
No.
that was it. You're right.
All right. Question 8. What was the name of the loyal and courageous dog who participated in the serum run to Nome, Alaska in 1925, delivering life-saving medicine?
His fucking name?
I think I saw Alden.
I'm gonna make a joke anyway, but Balto.
Yep, Balto.
Dang it!
What's the,
was
Is it
Balto.
really, though?
Yes, it was Balto.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Disney movie about it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Balto.
Okay.
Yeah.
No shit. I was just like half
Yes.
joking.
That's what I was
Alright.
trying to think of. The Disney movie.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
well, I was about to say, okay, now what's the joke? Go ahead. But
That was a joke. He thought it was
I
wrong.
would-
Yeah,
apparently it's not a
But I
joke, yeah.
as soon, no, I was gonna say Balto if you didn't say it.
That's hilarious.
all right. Which famous racehorse known as Big Red won the Triple Crown in 1973, setting several records that still exist to this day? Adam.
That's Secretariat.
Yep.
So Big Red is its like other name or whatever. Like
Yeah,
nickname.
its nickname. Its real name is
AKA
Secretariat.
Big
Another
Red.
His
Disney-
government name. His government name Secretariat. His nickname. Is
Okay,
Big
so
Red.
I thought we were doing like the species of horse or something because I thought Big Red was the name, and never mind, whatever. Okay, it's a big horse.
All right, last one for the animal category. Which famous movie star known for his roles in Western films had a pet chimpanzee named Scatter?
Ooh,
Steven.
Steven.
Clint Eastwood.
Nope.
That was like my
has
only
to
guess.
be- my guess would be John Wayne.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
John Wayne.
Oh,
yeah,
Nice.
I should have just done the next obvious thing.
yeah.
Now,
Damn it.
here's an interesting theory. Was John Wayne killed by nuclear fallout?
I think he was
Horse
killed by
monkey.
fucking diabetes and being fat, but
Well, was his endocrine system disrupted by nuclear fallout? Because
no,
they were doing
I would love
missile
to go with
testing on
that.
the other side of the ridge where he filmed most of his movies.
But I truly think he was just a fucking Hollywood actor who was like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Or is he
That's
still
what I
alive?
think.
Yeah.
I wish I could go with that, but I really think it was just him being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm John Wayne, dude. Like that's what I think it was.
Yeah. Give me that.
It's
Did
like
he
Elvis
get-
being like, is there a conspiracy Elvis died? Yeah, man, he was fat and did drugs. Like that's how Elvis
He did drugs like every day. Yeah.
and ate a peanut butter and banana and chocolate syrup sandwich for lunch, breakfast, and dinner. So it's like,
And
yeah,
I-
you're not
I
gonna
hear he
make it.
smoked menthols, so he can't survive for long.
There you go.
Yep.
Never
All
had a
right,
cold.
round 2, worth 2 points each, and this is about dietary restrictions. So, question 1: what is the term for a dietary restriction that excludes all animal products except for honey and eggs?
Damn it.
I think Alden.
Honey and eggs.
Yep.
Okay. Oh man. Ovo be vegan. I don't know.
Nope. Zane.
Yeah.
I think you're on the right track with that. I guess I'll say ovotarian.
Nope. Anyone else?
I'm just gonna say vegan.
I'll go with the Opo-Avitarian.
You guys are all very close. You're overdoing it.
Vegan. Is it just vegan?
No, it's not vegan. They wouldn't eat honey or eggs either.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
curious.
Alden,
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Is it just
Zane.
like ovo vegan? Like, is it a weird combination of?
It's getting much closer.
Dang it!
Zane,
Oh, vegan.
Steven.
Vegetarian.
All right, Adam, wrap it all up. Ovo was close.
Ovo vegetarian. Vegan vegetarian.
Boom.
Dang it!
Let's go.
Oh!
Ovo vegetarian. I got it.
Yeah. That might have been a little unfair, but whatever.
I
You
feel
guys
like
have
it
I-
started.
danced around it
that-
enough.
Isn't that what I said the first time?
No, you said ovotarian.
You did.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do not give me that point. That was not deserved.
Yeah.
I got
Fucking-
the
fucking
root
guess.
word right. That's what I contributed to this cluster.
Yeah. All right. Question 2. What is the term for the diet that involves eating only one type of food, such as the potato diet or the banana diet? Zane.
Monotarian.
No.
I have no idea.
Any other guesses? Steven?
Exclusionary.
Nope.
Oh, I actually have another guess.
Let's let Alden and Adam guess if they want to first.
I'm passing. I have no
All right,
idea.
Alden.
Unitarian.
Maybe. No. Zane.
Maybe no.
Maybe, but not at all.
Maybe
No.
maybe in another.
Maybe, but
universe.
couldn't have been wronger.
I'm gonna go monovore.
No. All right.
Not even
We're
a
dancing
maybe.
around this one too. So I'll just go ahead and reveal it.
Yeah.
Mono diet.
Oh,
So
no.
Zane was very close. All right. Question 3. What dietary restriction involves fasting for extended periods? Often 16.
I was trying to open something God damn it! I couldn't raise my hand first.
Sorry.
But I do that.
Zane.
That's not fair.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I do it too, which is annoying. Yeah. Wait, Zane, do you do it?
No.
See, Adam and I both do it, but we were jerking off, so we couldn't answer.
Yeah, I was trying to open it. God damn it.
No,
I'm trying to open my pants, but
All right. Question 4. What holiday involves the dietary restriction of avoiding all forms of food and drink for a specific
you got to give this one to
period?
Adam.
Adam.
Ramadan?
Yeah. Ramadan.
There you go. There's a
right.
there's an old
Ramadan
joke.
don't eat.
Yeah, there's an old joke amongst restaurant owners that when the Muslims fast, the Jews starve because the Jews run the restaurants.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jews, question 5. In kosher dietary law, which specific part of the animal is prohibited from being eaten as it is considered the source of its life?
I think Zane was quite early on this one.
Go ahead.
The blood.
Blood.
Everyone knows it's semen.
It's not forbidden, apparently.
That's what everyone goes to just during this time.
Yeah, as long as it's from a goat, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, round 3. 3 questions, 3 points, and the topic is comedians.
Oh shit.
We'll see. Let's see. Question. Whatever. Don't read that, Zane. You're a fast reader, and we're not. All right. Question 1. Which stand-up comedian and actor, originally from the Soviet Union, found fame in the United States with their comedy about cultural differences? Alden.
Bert Kreischer.
Not originally.
I don't know, so I thought I'd make a stupid joke.
Read that question again.
Which stand-up comedian and actor, which actually I wasn't familiar that this person was an actor, but that's in the question, originally from the Soviet Union, found fame in the United States with their comedy about cultural differences. And that's cultural differences between the Soviet Union and the U.S. Steven.
I'm going to be way off on this. Sacha Baron Cohen.
Who's
No.
English? Hold on.
There you go.
Sasha sounds Russian, though, so...
It does kind of.
Any guesses?
I truly have no idea.
Literally nothing.
I'll give the biggest hint. That'll probably give it away. But
Okay.
in Soviet Russia, car drives you.
Oh my god, I only know this.
I
from-
never knew who actually came up with that.
I still don't. I thought that was just a meme.
Yeah.
Alden.
I was just gonna say Seth MacFarlane, just because that's where I know that from.
Definitely
but
not
it's
true.
not that.
It's
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
I have, dude. I don't know. Just who is it?
Yakov
Oh
Smirnoff.
my god! I didn't know it was a bit of his. I also completely forgot about he existed. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
All right. Let's see. Question 2. Comedians. Which comedian gained notoriety for his Jeez, I can't talk. Which comedian gained notoriety for his provocative nursery rhymes during the late 80s?
Boom.
Adam.
Andrew Dice Clay.
Nice.
Oh,
That was quick.
there we go.
Quick on the draw.
Hickory dickory dock. Oh.
Is that him? Oh, shit,
Yeah.
I know that.
Oh yeah.
What's in the bowl, bitch?
Oh, fun bonus trivia. He was the first comedian to sell out an arena.
Really?
An
Nice.
arena, not a stadium. An arena.
Right.
Wow.
And he was the first comedian to ever do an arena tour.
Like, wow. Okay, I did not realize that.
And
Yeah.
nowadays
big-
he
that's
acts
how big he
nervous to be
was.
on
That's how
Rogan's
big he was.
podcast. It's really weird.
Yeah, no, he was legitimately one of the biggest comedians in the world for like a while, and then he's
Damn.
gone. Crazy.
Yeah, like Howie
Yeah.
Mandel came close,
Yeah,
but yeah, Dice was
Dice
like the
way
G.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
way
He's
ahead.
got a cool
He was-
name.
Well, yeah, and by the way, another fun fact: that whole Andrew Dice Clay character, that was
Yeah.
just the bit in his original act. That was like a character within his act, and it
Oh.
was just so famous. He was like, "Fuck it, this is what I do." Kind of like Larry the Cable Guy.
And
This
then
is
it
what I
just
do
became the thing.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like Gabriel Iglesias. You know, like when you go to one of his shows, Fluffy.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I've gone to see him a couple of times now, and like he always does. Like at the end, he'll even show you the clock. He's like, "My time's up. You came to see the original bit, though." And then you lose your mind.
so
He's like, "Ah, here we go."
he does what Bert Kreischer does with the machine thing. Like
Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
All right. Last question. Prior to becoming a comedian, which famous actor and comedian worked as a fashion consultant?
Fashion consultant.
I have no idea.
Hold
Or
on.
maybe the hint is maybe you should have said actress and comedian.
Still no. I don't respect
Okay.
female comedians.
Steven.
Actually, I'm
Whitney
taking
Cummings.
one with me to you guys. It's Georgia, so it's a joke. But,
I didn't hear you, Steven.
Whitney Cummings.
No.
Okay.
no, I know it wasn't her.
Wait a minute.
Alden.
I have a random, just pulling out of my ass guess. Ellen DeGeneres?
No.
No,
Does
I-
she look
I
fashionable
have
to
a guess
you?
too. I have a guess too. It's not right.
Let's hear
Joan-
it.
nothing.
Joan Rivers.
Oh,
Joan Rivers.
shit. Actually, that makes a lot of sense, dude.
Oh,
That makes a lot of sense. That makes way more sense than Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. Well, I knew for a fact Ellen Whitney didn't start out doing that. I know for a fact they started out in comedy. So
okay.
I was just working my brain back to like famous female because they're not gonna do
You did
like,
good.
Taylor Tomlinson. They're gonna do like a very famous female comedy. Like who's a very famous?
Yeah.
Roseanne. No, she was always
Right.
in comedy. Joan Rivers, I
Right.
think, started somewhere else.
Oh.
Did Adam win?
All right.
I,
That's
I,
it.
I can
Some
believe Eliza
random-
Schlesinger won. She was a fashion consultant, maybe, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, she no. She also been doing comedy the whole time. She's just not good.
Well, good job, Adam. You fucking got it, man.
Thank you.
Nice.
It's the animal knowledge, dude. I'm telling you. It's
Oh,
the
yeah.
animal
I
knowledge.
feel like I did better on that, and I flunked everything else. Like,
yeah, you did really good on animals too. Usually I'm like above and beyond, but I had a competition with the animals.
yeah, I know. I think it truly, like, we knew a lot of the same things. We were just like
Yeah.
trying to like
Yeah,
beat each other
just
to
over the hand raise.
It was
Yeah,
a new
no.
experience watching Zane sweat this time, though. Like, that's not usual.
Yeah.
Zane's sleepy. I see him yawning over there.
He's sleepy.
I love trivia. I love the random knowledge. I have so much of it because I don't do anything else. So I just fucking read random things all day. You know?
Yes,
Dude,
exactly.
I play daily trivia on my phone. Like I'm fucking.
Nice.
Oh, I'm all about it. I love fucking trivia, dude. It's such a dumb thing. Because that doesn't mean you're smart. It just means you just know a lot of dumb shit.
It's just a lot of
That's all it is.
It can be that you're
Yeah,
smart.
Zane.
It doesn't.
It can,
mean,
yeah, but for-
yeah,
Okay, in my instance, it's
I'm-
not. It's just because I know a lot of dumb random
like in
shit.
Zane's case, it is. Like, yeah,
I'm huge in the trivia. Like this will reveal me as a huge nerd, which I don't think it was in question to begin
I don't
with.
think anybody was
but, like,
questioning that. I don't think it was like Zane's out there crushing pussy every weekend. I don't think anyone's thinking that, but
like,
you're smart, and that's awesome. You're definitely smarter
I
than me.
did quiz ball all throughout
Sure.
high school. and
Oh, hey
college.
Zane,
When I-
Zane, I'm
when
gonna give you a show on YouTube to watch. It's a Barstool show, but the dozen trivia. It's 3 times a week, one Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it's the people of Barstool. They have teams though. It's like teams of 3, and it's a 12-round trivia question with like bonus rounds and shit. It's actually really fucking enjoyable. I think you really like it. It's not you don't have to like Barstool to like it. It's a trivia show.
yeah,
what's it called?
cool.
It's the dozen trivia. But
The
if you're
Dozen.
if you're a trivia head, Zane, give it a shot. I think you'll be like, all right, fuck, that was cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
cool. During the height of lockdown, I was with my parents, and my mom had like a year of Jeopardy recorded. So
Oh,
every
shit.
night, my
Oh, damn.
mom and I would just watch like 3 or 4 episodes of Jeopardy all right in a row.
Right.
Damn, dude, that's the way to do. That's how you fucking. It's how you kind of get smart, though. Not smart, but at least like again, retention.
Well rounded in that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. At least you know something. You'd be like, I know that. Can you tell me anything about it? No, but I know this. Like, I don't know anything else. I can't add on. I can't extrapolate from it. I could be like the blue-footed booby is a bird.
yeah. As a kid, I thought that was hilarious. Like,
I grew up. There's me and a good friend of mine, a couple others that we collected binders, and we had these like cards, these flip-up cards that we got in the mail of like these random animals, and like each month or each quarter was like a different category. It was like African Sahara, South America, rainforest, all that kind of stuff, and it had these weird animals, and it had their binomial nomenclature and all the facts about the animals, and we collected these binders of these things. We also had Desert Storm trading cards, but
Yes.
that's
yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's go out now because we're a little bit over time. Let's go out on one kind of funny video even though probably shouldn't be funny. I don't know. We're not trying to make fun of this girl, but she has Tourette's and is being interviewed by Chris Cuomo.
I feel like Adam will agree that Tourette's is just inherently funny.
It's funny. Yeah, I was trying to disclaimer it, but it's funny, and I'm sorry, but here goes.
Do things like that. I've had parents reach out to me asking me, "Oh, my son's coming home with a girlfriend, and his girlfriend has Tourette's syndrome." So
it seems
and then
fake,
I also get
right?
Evil
it always does.
It just seems always fake.
Like, I
know it's fucked up, but
this is the best part because I mean she says what we all want to say to Chris Cuomo.
So very evil people that would comment and say like, "Go fuck yourself, Chris. Lick your baby mean it, blam up your ass, butter your own biscuit, fat ass." That
God, I wish I had Tourette's.
That my parents deserved to die in a car accident because I'm faking my condition, or people have told me that, like, I've had to have the police at my house because people gave out my location and said they were gonna come torch my house. Like, it's crazy.
Here's the thing. Clinically.
Anyway, at some point during the interview, Chris even says he doesn't believe her. And then he goes on.
Actually, that's pretty funny by Chris Cuomo. I'll give credit where credit.
That's pretty funny,
then
too.
He goes on to say, like, people are mean, people are awful, and, like, you're so brave. So, I don't know.
I also have, like she's not even, like, attractive, but she's, like, more attractive than most people with Tourette's, probably. That's also a crazy thing to say. That's off no knowledge. I have no idea if that's true or not. But I feel like anybody who's, like, is moderately even attractive, like, you don't have anything wrong with you. Shut up. Like, you're fine. You're making stuff.
The weird thing about this clip is that, like, halfway through, Chris Cuomo starts laughing, which I think most people would do. But if you know that you're about to interview somebody with Tourette's, I think that you would, like, train yourself not to laugh.
Nah, it's easier said than done.
You still butter your own biscuit, fat ass.
My wife was a special needs teacher for 5 years, and we would go to the events and everything, like the Christmas tree lighting in town and everything like that. She's like, "Oh, this is one of my students." There was one guy that really caught me off guard because he was just like, "I want to hug you." And I was like, "Okay, bud, come on, let's bring it in." And he picked me up and like spun me in circles. And like that, I was not ready for that. I was giggling.
They're kind of like orangutans.
Yeah,
they have all this strength, but they don't have the brain capacity to like parse it out. So
I was just giggling. I was like, "We're friends now. You're awesome."
Butter your own biscuit, fat ass.
Butter your own biscuit.
See, I don't think that is real. Like, I think even in the Tourette's world, like, why
she's
would
like
you
speaking in
phrase?
tongues,
right? It's like, why wouldn't you just make
in the longer interview, she flips off the camera for a while. And I'm like, does Tourette's involve your hands too? I mean, maybe. I know there's tics, but flipping off the camera isn't really a tic.
I just wish that people like with Tourette's would just flash people. That's what I wish.
Cartman made me feel like this is all fake from South Park. So
I didn't see that episode.
That was years ago. It was an older one, but like, yeah, like he was faking Tourette's and then really got it. And then no one believed him because he was faking it. It was a boy cry wolf thing. Very funny Carmen episode. But yeah, fuck that. I don't believe her at all. I don't believe that bitch at all.
I can't help but be somewhat like skeptical. Like if I met someone in the real world with it and they were just like, I'm like, if you're this committed to it anyway, like every day of your life, this is what you do. Then I'm like, that's fine. That's you now, whatever. Like even if you were fake. But like on news, and this is just the only thing I'm seeing of you, I'm like, I can't help but just be
totally agree.
I'm just gonna put it in the box of maybe we'll figure it out later. I don't care. Like
if I met you in a Dunkin' Donuts and you were like doing that, but guys, Tourette's. But if you're on camera, like on TikTok, being like, I have Tourette's, to go, you don't.
Right.
Like you definitely don't have Tourette's.
All right. So just to wrap us up, Steven, you got anything going on LP wise, or is it December and nothing much is happening? Or
December, Fayette County, we already had our meeting. We already voted on our officers and everything like that. So we're just moving on into the next year with that one. Nothing amazing. So
yeah, well, we'll return in January, I guess. Yeah. All right. What about you, Zane? Anything going on in your neck of the woods?
No.
Okay, Alden. What do you got going on? Anything to plug or say?
I never have. Oh yeah, no. Lots of things to plug, but nothing I can hear.
Representative Drew Ferguson announced his retirement today here in Georgia. This is a U.S. rep, so the field is wide open. And there was a former state rep here in Georgia, Phil Singleton, and he has on social media announced that he's talking to his wife and praying about it and wondering if this is the opening for him because he served his tenure to the full term limits here at the state. And he is very sympathetic to libertarians. He and I and several others in this area have, gone back and forth on social media and other avenues several times. And the guy is, extremely, we'll say, conservative, to the point of being libertarian sympathetic. And he is flirting with the idea of running for Drew Ferguson's vacant seat coming next year. So that would be pretty amazing, because if nothing else, we would have an open ear. I'm not going to say the guy's going to be a libertarian because he's obviously running as a Republican, but he does have an open ear and an open heart to our plight.
That helps.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. And Adam, tell us about yourself one more time and plug any other dates or your podcasts again.
Yeah. Go follow me on Twitter or X, whatever the fuck it is now, at Adam Nutter, please. And thank you. It helps out. And then, go follow the Cult of Us podcast. Boom. It's available everywhere. YouTube, please subscribe to the YouTube. And then that's just comedy, no politics. And then 5 till midnight, I do with Kyle Watovic, Luke and Tyble from Brian the Bullet, and Sam Urban from the Illegitimate Scholar podcast. That's, again, available everywhere, 5 till midnight in the YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. Go subscribe, please. Thank you. It comes to you to do stand-up. I'll be in Philly, 2 shows, March, Jesus Christ. I don't know why I said March. It's fucking December. December 22nd. December 22nd at Myers Brewing Company. 7:30, 9 o'clock show coming out to that. That's going to be fucking fun. Then Florida LP convention the week before you guys. Then obviously I'll be there in Georgia with you guys hanging out. Then I'm also doing the California convention, the Minnesota convention, and possibly Alaska, which will be sick.
Whoa.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So Alaska's not confirmed. Everything else is confirmed. March 12th. Why am I saying March? Say March. If I say March one more time, mute my microphone. January 12th. I'll be in.
This sounds so similar, though.
Right. It's not even close. That's what's crazy. I'll be up in Stanford or Norwalk, Connecticut, doing comedy up there. That's Fair Comedy Show. I'm not sure which city and city. Yeah, they have it in both places, but that's not LP related. That's just comedy show. So come out to that. I post all my dates. So at Adam Nutter on everything. Thank you. Love you guys.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming. And if we can put together a crew, we'll be back next week for another episode. But people may be busy with Christmas, so we'll see. But
that one I think I'll be
later.
gone. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Well, probably nothing next week, probably, but we'll see you soon.
But what a good send off. And